Welcome, everyone. It's time to get live, loud, and back onto the field as we get ready for some good old Valorant action here for the Canadian Intercollegiate exhibition matches. I'm Hale Monkman in the booth alongside one of my greatest friends in all of casting world, and including United States and the invasion up into Canada. It is the greatness that is Orbital as we are cosplaying as brawny paper towel models. How are you doing, Orbital, as we get into our first of our top 8 matches today?
I'm doing all right. Excited to be here. Excited to get underway because my gosh, the group stage was a show. Amazing. About 14 teams that showed up here. We have now rounded it down to 8. And of course, those 8 are playing across today as well as Monday, which is going to be a lot of fun. This match, of course, in the quarterfinals is going to be just a best of 1. So teams better show up to play or else they'll be eliminated. And then moving into the semifinals will be a best of 3. So a lot of Valorant to be played here today.
Ton of Valorant to be played, and of course we have 10 players that are ready to go in our quarterfinal matchup. We're going to be doing one quarterfinal, which is a best of 1, and a semifinal thereafter, which is a best of 3. So a couple of great matches. Let's go ahead and show off to you our first roster going into it. You know them, you love them, and there's at least 2 of them as we bring you into the Simon Fraser Raccoons. I've been told that this is their B squad, but I think that they're still ready to bring the B and beat down to it with Slender Zara, Maeve, Seb, Super Heaven, as well as Keep. And they've got someone going against them. That one's all you there, Orbital.
Yes, it is. Right now they're going up against Carleton, JV, Black in this squad. I got to see yesterday. They played pretty well, and hopefully they're going to bring a little bit more pain to the table. It's going to be quite fun. It's Minho, Fidel, Jihoon Na, Bling Bling Boy, and Ron. And I mean, they're gonna try and throw down here. I think the main one that I wanted to watch was Jihoon Na, and I think Bling Bling Boy. Both of these players didn't show up, and then Minho just surprisingly came out of nowhere. So the entirety of Carleton, JV, Black, very excited to see what they do.
Carleton JV, they had to survive in the same group as both Conyu Crimson as well as Conestoga Condors. So as we get into this matchup, obviously we had our field of about, I think it was 14 teams. Then we dwindle them all the way down to 8. We'll be going on to Lotus. So this will be a fun 3 site map. And of course, if you have been missing out on Haven, well, here is your at least diet plan working into it. Orbital, have you loved Lotus? Are we soon to leave Lotus? Because I know that the map pool is staying static for now, but has everyone gotten sick of Lotus, or have they gotten like okay with it now?
Listen, you're the only one. I think you're the only one. No, actually, wow. I think I'm like the only one. I love Lotus. I will always say I love 3-side maps. The other side of it, though, I think Haven kind of, for me, got burnt out. It didn't feel as, I don't know, rewarding at points. It felt very, static. And of course, I think that was the only 3-site map for a while. It was just very like that was it at that time. Right now, though, Lotus feels still to me very fresh. There are opportunities, and obviously, it's still a little bit more weighted in terms of which sites you do want to go for. Obviously, I think C site is a little bit hard to hit depending on how you want to enter. But I really enjoy the map. It brings a lot of variety depending on how the attack goes. If you go to A site, it's a lot more swing heavy. C site, you better, brute force that thing. And then B site is just like up in the air depending on how you enter. So I don't know. I love it. I love this map, and I really hope it doesn't leave rotation.
There's a lot of aggression that I'm seeing on either side as you actually do get to this Carleton group. They're going to be bringing out the Gecko as well as having that Raze. Raze very much a kind of linchpin for success here onto this map in particular. So want to see how they're going to be successful with it. So we'll be going here in just a little bit. Also, shout out over to one of our sponsors for our matches this weekend, as we will have BMO coming in and live and loud with you to help you focus on what's important. BMO has been has checking and savings accounts, credit cards, and borrowing options specifically designed for students just like these out here. Plus, you can get up to 12 months of Domino's Pizza worth $190 with BMO's current student offers. No monthly plan fees while you're in school, and up to 1 year of graduating. Convenient branch locations and close to home and campus, and unlimited transactions, including e-transfer transactions. Make sure you check it out. Exclamation point BMO in the chat. Let's go to round number 1. Already first blood drawn, and all the raises are already off the map.
Yes, they are. Carleton, of course, on that defensive side, getting a trade out 1-for-1. Not the worst thing in the world, but of course, that stop is the most important part. Take a look at where the kills went down just outside of that mound, and stopping them before they enter feels so good. Now they're deciding if they actually want to enter. They have a lurker on the far side. if you are looking at SFU. So, you know, if they do decide to charge into this A site, it'll be a little different. However, C is still more than focused on with the pistol. You want to get up close and personal. Let's see if they can do it.
Defense right now is a somewhat kind of old meta composition. You've been seeing a lot more of Gecko being brought onto the field, obviously, but seeing kind of the big A pressure that you can get with this kind of attack, especially with the Raze as well as the Breach that is now no longer with us. This is a very scrappy concept, especially because you have that chamber that can work these positions from distance. They're going to bust it in, look over into tree, nice dink, and they sink him down. Oh, and a fadeaway as Zera hits the floor.
Just to clean that, felt too good. And of course, with the classic, you basically don't waste anything. It's just all in your own hands. So you go ahead and layer it down. All of a sudden, you're kind of stuck in this position if you're SFU. And you got to kind of wander your way through. Thankfully, you didn't lose the spike, but it's going to be a difficult one. Entering into this B site, it's going to be close quarters. Of course, you tried the wingman, but it was popped away. And now you're trying to rush your way in B site. Now currently being covered. Bling Being Boy putting on the bling as you're able to get a 3K. Oh. Bodies are hitting the floor, though, as Keep get the 3K of their own. The turnaround is real, and you almost reload, but Jihoon puts an statement to the end. And it will be the defusal to finish it off. But my gosh, that was way closer than I think anyone expected.
Yeah, no, the re-engagement and pressing in through Secret was actually kind of wild there out of Keep, as they were keeping this one close, but Jihoon is going to end up being the Gecko diff here early in round number 1. Shout out also to our amazing obs that will be driving us through the entirety of this. That's Mediavelli as well as Acrylic. That will be your great producers today. We're going to see this buy up and moving to this other round. That is some ego picks. We already get light shields with Vandals out of Bling Bling and Fidel on this defense.
Considering they only won by 1, I think they're just saying, hey, that was a little bit too ballsy of us. Keep will not have the same value this time around. Not only that, we'll probably hit our shots a little bit more with the guns in hand. And I think they're more than happy about that. Quick tap there. Minho sends one to the grave, looking for another. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge. One way is not really one way, but it's enough to get the rest of the squad over. It looks like the attackers are going to feel pretty dang good about this, but Bling Bling Boy tries to hold it down. Misses everyone and doesn't get a single one.
Paints a mural out of their silhouettes with that Vandal, and now that very deadly weapon is going to be traded over to another player. It does hit the ground as Minho is able to hit their shots, even if it's in Spectre. Submachine gun can still do some damage. They put out the paint shells, and now they force them to jump straight back into the fray, and you're going to have the mosh pit online. Walking around through this one way, it's going to be Super Heaven with 4. Can they pop the headshot for a 5th? No, not going to get the ace. Fidel ruins the hero moment.
That was terrifying. Take a look at the HP on Fidel as well. That's about as close as you can get against a sheriff, I think. That is extremely close. And it's terrifying to think about. You have now allowed this to happen twice. Both Keep and Superhaven are stepping up to the plate. And in the match I saw before, it was Seb that actually for the squad, I think, was the main stay member that was able to really bring it back and actually make it a reason why they're here in the first place. But you can't be letting that happen, especially in the gun round. Now, all of a sudden, it's pretty much a guaranteed loss that you on the defensive side are going to lose out here. So for the attackers, they're very happy about the current situation.
Ooh, Slender! With that long, slender barrel, able to take out Fidel, who had the lone rifle amongst this attempt on a bonus round. All sheriffs now left over for this defensive position, and I mean, that's a good find. You use a chamber, a round 3 op with the aggression of that current eco. Not at all surprised, but you got to land those shots, and they do, to open things up. And Zera has already opened up some space. They're going to keep the majority of the team, for pretty much everyone, over to C to see if this will be maybe a kind of a transpose from an A pressure. They don't recognize how free this is, to be honest, and they're just waiting for the good to go to be able to start marching in.
I think that also is because on the defensive side, you haven't given away any information. All the util hasn't been dumped. So, I mean, for the attackers, you're kind of sitting there going, okay, how far can we actually push? Are we going to push? Really, that wall going up is about as much util that's been thrown down. And it's, you know, it's understood that, hey, we have the gun advantage, but you still don't want to walk into a 5 cannon stack if it is all shares, even the classics, really. So this time being wound down, not the worst thing in the world. It does feel bad, though, that they aren't able to recognize that they had the lead. They are going to recognize now as there's only about 20 seconds left. They're going to use the wingman to go ahead and get the plant down. And the Thrasher. So actually, this is way more conservative than I thought. Big dubs over to the side of the defenders to draw that ult early.
And they're going to be able to recover it. So that one is at least a repeat ultimate. So they're not too hard up on the fact that they had to wait for long because the plant still got down. You have a full 4-player rush to be able to come back in. They're going to use the sentry turret to see if anyone will swing stairs, but they're just playing from distance. And when you have Seb onto this breach, it's so difficult to get beyond the stuns as well as the flashes that will just immediately come from tree. Using those paint shells, that one somehow hit a curve that did nothing else. They get rid of Zera. Minho and Vaughn both go down, and this attack is pretty much doing what it's supposed to do as they just lean out Junha from a distance. And of course, this is going to end up being a 4-player survival position for the side of Carleton. And yeah, they played deep into the timer there, Orbital, but they're pretty comfortable the entire round.
I think they're more than happy about that one. Again, if you had the guns, if you had the position, you're not really worried about anything. And if you're following the econ, it's perfect. You don't have to worry about anything. This is where things get spicy. Keep in mind, you still have that ultimate on. Well, Jihoon is a little bit rougher on the end. Same with Keep. So we're waiting still for 1 or 2 more orbs on the side of the defensive end. But it is going to be that big question. This is the gun round. This is the big one that everyone's going to be watching for. And it's immediately walled off. Give me time for the defenders to walk back.
This is a deep wall as well. Oh, wow. Okay, so they find him with the paint shells. I was thinking for a second that they'd be able to kind of release from that position, but they walked away from Secret, and now that's not quite a free audible, but this deep wall off this talk screen allows for them to take over Rubble almost for free, but that you're playing for the reaction and for the team to be able to kind of rotate from the side of Simon Fraser. So the minute approaching, they too take that ult orb. Prioritization comes through as well for showstoppers on this map. Raze is so influential. They're looking for a big pick to pivot on. They did have the first one, but this is the same game plan that Carleton was trying to read a little bit ago. They're actually going to rotate away, and Simon Fraser has to receive on C.
We'll see if they actually jump for it, because I mean, Carleton on the defensive end right now, that I think they're going to be somewhat okay letting this one go. For the time being, you go ahead and re-entry with the 4 that you have live. No reason to give one more over. So I kind of like this call. And you go ahead on SFU's side here on the attack. They are setting themselves up for a pretty strong hold on the lower end. Don't want to space out too far. Once you get the plant, maybe you send a lurk or anything of that sort, but you have the showstopper, you have the front of the shadows. These are great repositioning tools if you want to get a bit aggressive, but you have a great hold. You have all 5 members, no reason to get antsy about it.
They're really playing for the all-in. They are pretty confident that everyone is backside here. Oh, big find. Zera still has that operator. They get rid of Fidel, and there's no longer any pressure. The showstopper could actually secure this if they really wanted to. This 5v3 tight corner, keep right around the same position. They were nearly that pistol hero. They find one. It's gonna be a big trade, and Super Heaven from their off bomb position is able to get rid of the last. So it goes 2-2, and that should put us into a kind of an eco save or force buy situation. Good read on the rotation, but they hold it just fine.
I don't think you would buy anything at this point if you're on the side of Carleton. Like, there's no reason. I don't think you can. I mean, if maybe you had like 2-3 inside the bank, maybe you could force buy or anything like that. No reason to do that here. Instead, it's going to be light shields plus a couple shares, which puts you like 1.2 in the bank or something like that. Not too bad. Go ahead, give it your best shot, see what you can do and hold down on, because right now the econ is stacking. Bling Bling Boy might be the first one to get blinked on, and that's a very dangerous situation to be in. But I love this 4-man push coming out from the defensive end. Take a look at how hard they're pushing right now with only this KJ on side of sight.
And as a update, we will be correcting it here soon. Carleton is actually on the defense, so Simon Fraser is on this pushing attack. So to see them bounce back from surrendering the first 2, not at all surprised. They do recover that spike, and it's going to be going down to A as they spin it out through tree. But everyone waiting for this flank position. And I think it's getting sussed out. You have a lot of audible intel. They're going to throw down that dark cover to allow them to walk out, as well as the Dizzy, but that thing is blown up so fast. And now Super Heaven from distance is actually that's keeping them safe. Minho is able to at least get 1. And now they're trying to take up the cross, but there's a lot better weapons on the side of this attack. Oh, wow.
Oh, they are, but if you get flanked, there's a little bit of problem. Seb, though, gets a little bit of help, and you are safe. Even Zera's like, yeah, that was a pretty good shot. That is a straight-up point-blank teleport. Fidel tried to lay it in with that picked-up operator, but the TP keeps you safe. And Maeve is able to grab a 30K. Danger is abound right now. And it was spicy, to say the least. Carleton were able to grab 3 weapons off the other body, so you know, you can see in the bank, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does cut a tiny bit of the econ out. Instead of having maybe 4 rounds banked, you only got maybe like 2.
Yeah, we're gonna see this be one of our I think our only second ever, or no, we had a couple of rifle rounds in the midst of it, even with some of those aggressive buys. What do you think they're talking about over here, by the way? And then, you know, they have one bear, he's got the Lotus on the top of his head. Is it like who gets to take the, well, I guess that other bear was dead, so rip that bear. Rip the bear.
Rip Minho as well. Sarah sends it straight to the grave. We're talking about bears, someone else is talking about bodies, and that's just a really rough feeling. Remember, this is a buy-up round for the side of Carleton, and they really want to keep one more alive, but that's going to be a great little paint there. Blinded out as you run. Fidel's going to try and chase, but maybe chase too far. Great little bomb there. Trying to give themselves a little bit of space, but of course not getting tagged on the back end. And now it's a hard push into A. Bling Bling Boy is going to try and hold it down. Can the Bling keep you alive? Maybe blinded with a little bit of fancy necklaces and stuff like that. Oh. Around the corner, Seb sees one running for your life. You realize things are dire. First engagement is there, and you almost get the kill, but a teammate follows up, and you're able to trade it out 1-for-1. Keep holding down 1v2. Here's a bound as you catch him looking the wrong way. It's keeping their hopes alive. 10 HP with a buddy, and it's going to be SFU to clean up. Very nice round. 4 alive left, and 2 ults on the table as well.
No, they said the royal family, whenever the czars were in power in Russia, were set to actually live whenever they were met by a firing squad when they had all of their gem-encrusted bling on themselves. That was all of a myth. Same thing was true of Bling Bling Boy, because eventually they fell as well. So that's a history lesson on mythology and more for you.
Did you have that ready, or did you look that up? What?
No, I mean, I watch a lot of Anastasia, so shout out Disney. Thank you.
That's it.
Zara, even in the face of danger, showstopper, whip right. They survived. Well, they got killed by a stinger, but what?
Shot to the side feels bad. I mean, man, those you know, some nerfs coming in here, whether it's seen or unseen. Either way, it feels bad. Right now, Minho's about to feel that pain, but says, nah, pain is my name. 5 HP is all you got left. It's coming down to the wire once again. This is Carleton holding on to 4 big-time ults if you can, but the Thrash is out. If you can go ahead and lock that one down, it's going to feel kind of good. Of course, you pick it up as well. You get that reset, but 4v3. If you're able to find a good entry, it's great, but Super Haven only catching one. Minho, who is only on 5 HP, takes a shot to the toe and loses life. Now it's the lockdown plus the Thrash. Huge lockdown chances. Super Haven can't find that kill. Instead, loses his life. Hard spray through that smoke. Keep not landing any real shots, and now it's going to get bullied out, but takes one for their life. Another picture on the other side. As it's a 3v4 turnaround with 2 left alive. SFU take the dub.
Tag him with the fanatic at the very end. That was a little too chaotic for my taste, because you actually had good post-plant hold positions, and then everyone was just kind of doing the dotted line situation around everyone else. So ends up being a great finish, and since finding the first 2, it has been 5 in a row right now for Simon Fraser. So haven't really stabilized on the side of Carleton. We were kind of expecting this. The Raccoons are doing a great job. They're just kind of out pressuring them, find a pick to be able to pivot on. Zara is so just, they got such big ego, because who just walks their way through on that one way and just aims to get away? Well, I guess it's a chamber.
I mean, you gotta have an ego to play good, though, and the worst type of ego is the one that can be backed up. Zara has now done this about 4 times so far in the 7 rounds that have been available, and has worked wonders in those angles. I gotta give a lot of credit there, and being that backup player now means that the rest of Carleton can't actually chance as far as they want. Look at this, it's a free push onto Steve's side. If you wish to continue a little bit further, you can, because you know your backside is clear, and that's one of the big dangers about a 4-man push or a 5-man. You gotta be worried about your backside sometimes, but you don't. This time around, it's a full take with all 5 alive. As SFU go, cool, we'll get another plan.
Twice they've tried to flank to be able to get reverse pressure whenever they've moved to A, and that's gone the wrong direction. Now you actually have a fantastic read. Van gets 1. Minho is taken out from distance, and Van is still kind of left solo dolo in this waterfall position. They use the paranoia, and that actually is something that you have to push up with. Still, too many defenders stuck all the way back and off that dark cover. Now they're just kind of util swinging. They have so much just safety from this mound. 4v3. Van is at least finding bodies to drop.
I mean, that's a little bit of a touch, but that's going to be the shots. Remember, as soon as you hear that sound, it's good. Keeping it real here as the mound playing Keep holds it down. 2 great headshots. And SFU, this squad, which, by the way, we've been informed, is kind of a pickup squad. Here from SFU, they said, hey, we want to enter in another team. We might as well. And they are rocking it. 13 and 11 for the top KDA players, whereas the rest of Carleton are just bridging past 6.
Barely. 2-6 at this point. I'm not mistaken. Hold on. It takes like a year for this to drum up. Yeah, they have something called the Raccoon Cup, by the way, which is like sick for Simon Fraser with all like the depth of all their rosters. This college in particular, they have the Raccoon Cup Riot Rumble. So they really love just kind of going to town, talk trash at each other, which is such a beautiful thing. But Showstoppers online, you have the tour de force. Don't even need it because that operator's been alive and loud, and all that's really kind of available, at least ult wise, to get used, which is not going to happen at least into this position because you're on an eco swing, is going to be that from the shadows. And Slender Zera has done such great work about pushing A, forcing people to peek them, and then retreating back and being a great sentinel that you have to get past.
Oh man, caused such a problem for Carleton as well. Like you mentioned how strong that sentinel play is. The other problem is that they're hitting their shots like crazy. Just the entire team feels so on point right now. They're deciding to take this one a little bit slow, and I mean, Jihoon is able to get a little bit of a mess and lives with 4 HP. It's still problematic. I mean, the first blood already went the way of SFU. Now, the big difference is the HP bars are bleeding right now for 2 of their members, so if they are going to try and push, it's going to be a little bit haphazard. Into the smoke you go. The cover is real. And Jihoon is going to try and get a little bit messy. The quick tap by Seb makes it work. Clearing with a buddy feels great for the squad. And because of that kill, you go ahead and rotate your way to B. And all of a sudden, it's Carleton that had to figure out a way to get in.
Oh gosh, don't give Riot any ideas. You're talking about HP bars bleeding. I don't need bleed damage in this game. Nope, not again. Not in Overwatch. But either way, they're still gonna be able to get that plant off as they pivot through Secret. You do have Bling Bling Boy stuck between a rock and a dead place. Maeve is now having to deal with Van, but Bling Bling does at least get 1 trade from Slender Zera, but it's Seb that gets the wall bang onto Fidel, and that's 7 in a row right now for Simon Fraser Raccoons. And even when they're kind of caught in a weird position, Zera with a bit of damage on them, and they see it kind of off position playing up to A or C rather, and kind of looking back to A, they're never too put off about making that final play up. And Lotus is really lending to the idea that you can take like all the way down to like 15 seconds and you can still get to A site. It's just a matter of where you end up.
And I think that also leads into the fact that they just feel confident overall. You can almost see the confidence oozing off them. There is no real waiting. Even if they're waiting, it's not a fearful wait. However, this might put the fear in them. Fidel sends 1 to the grave, and that's Keep. Remember, Keep has been a real reason why these rounds are going their way. Keep has been able to kind of clutch it out in a 2v3, 3v4 situation. Zera, though, might be met with a little bit of resistance, taking a look, swinging out and trying to check Minho. Might not realize they are spotted. I think his shoulder was seen, and that's why you're trying to wait. Another full body there. Zera gets 1, didn't see the second. So Minho's able to trade 1-1. Easy does it here, as that's going to be a little bit of that door opening. But Superhaven says, Fidel, you are down. A little bounce to the side. Bling Bling Boy says, no worries. Maeve is going to find their death. Superhaven falls behind with the assistance of 2. Turns into a 2v2.
This is the closest this has been so far. Maeve's going to hang out from that drop. They were wondering if the bomb was actually fully planted to A, or they now have that confirmation. Minho as well as Van. They're going to try and reposition. Where are they going to go from this? Checking out from tree. They fake it. They knew at the last second, so that ghost is not in the back line. Oh, super. Gets rid of Van, and now they reposition. All right, we get 2 of these. A little bit of extra intel, but it's actually just to retreat. Flashpoint goes out. That's a delay tactic. Minho is going to have to swing into tree and take on 2 in a row. They get 1, but then they're stunned. And that's going to be an 8th here for the first 10. SFU mightily on top.
It's such a solid kind of, I want to say it's solid stack coming out. Every single time, it feels like SFU always have the answer. If they're pushing as a squad. No one really gets left behind, and no one's trying to ego play. You mentioned that it feels like Slender was having that ego, and honestly, sitting at the lower end of the scoreboard, I can't blame him. Superhaven, Keep, and Maeve have all basically stepped up, and it's just like stealing spotlight glory. But when you start playing with confidence and when SFU have seen that they kind of win these gun duels, even the opening 2 rounds, they never lost confidence. And now they're basically playing like we had the lead because they do, but they're also winning any gun duels, even if they're in the lower end. It can be dangerous, but they're just, hey, we'll stick together. We'll play smart. We'll play in what we know is the correct style. And I don't think it's going to stop any time soon, as this is one of the deeper spreads that I think they've had all game here, a 2-1-2 default.
Look how deep, though, you actually get Zera infiltrating. They have the tour de force, and yet they're well behind enemy lines. Don't have that rendezvous to really work off of. And this is actually a heavy stack to that B main position. And you know, you still have one stinger in hand, and the rest is just going to be scrappy fights from distance. Ji-hoon is able to get one, but not before Minho and Fidel both drop. So, this when you can get someone to go that far back, even if they don't get value, they can tell you where the rotations are and are not. And again, look where we are. It's going to be a triple flank coming out from this back end.
I mean, this is the easiest hold, I think, Maeve's life, and that's going to be the Thrash immediately deleted. A little bit of a satchel out to slow them down. Call it in the backup if you can. Then I need to allow through. Take a look at this Wingman. Wingman's going to try and get some info. Really gets anything, though. It's a triple blind and a half. Easy does it. One more left. Vaughn, you are just gone. Super Haven sends him down to Super Earth to fight the bugs. It's a dangerous spot to be in. 9-2 right now here in the first half.
You know, if nobody else got me, Wingman running in a raw peek out of a dark cover got me. Everyone walks away a little bit afraid, and Wingman will still go out and clap hands at someone. But again, it's been a bit too often that kind of play has been had, and not playing more standard stock. You're going to see a lot of Guardians because they can't really afford real guns on the end of Carleton. But SFU trying to punch up into 10-2. Looks like they're going to just high pressure here outside of C. Fidel. They can't find any picks. Oh, but backside box. Ji-hoon at least finds a couple.
I think that's the first time Ji-hoon or anyone on the side of Carleton have actually jumped hit there, and that's why it works so well. You see, and we're not expecting that much, but these Guardian buys are doing quite a bit of work. Minho, of course, watching as that lockdown gets annihilated. You can't really hold on to it. It's a KJ and a Viper. I mean, there's not much that you can really enter with at best. You're going to try and zone out with a little bit of damage, but it's not going to work, and that's going to be the final round. It will be moving into the second half, a 10-2 scoreline. SFU Raccoons finding gold inside of the dumpster.
The good news is that even if you have the kings of trash, as Raccoons are, it is a 10-2 that is very common on Lotus. This is a bit of copium for everyone out there that are Carleton fans, so hear me out. 10-2, I saw DRX throw a 10-2 lead, and it went the complete other direction, and it was on this map. It can be done, but you're going to have to take it round by round. A pistol is going to be the biggest position to win from, and you have to do the exact same thing. Attack on Lotus is OP. This is the end of my TED Talk and copium for all you Carleton fans. SFU, let's see how we plan this out going on to this defense as they are super stacked on A.
I'm going to say it doesn't matter about anything like that, as Zera gets shot through the teleporter. That always feels bad, getting tagged right as you go through. But you know what? I'm going to swing the other way. I'm going to say SFU, you know what? You lost the pistols last time. You're going to lose the pistols here, and then you're going to run it when you got guns in your hand. Because you don't care what map you go to. It doesn't matter which side you're going to be on. All that matters is getting that dub at the end of the day. Fidel waiting around the corner. Gets a great prime shot off, though. Maybe you got something in the lines. You can see a much cleaner pistol this time around for the side of Carleton.
You have the 1v4 situation. Can they get... Do they just get... Oh, you killed Wingman? That's rough. Poor little Wingman. Yeah, teammate's gonna happen. Minho, show him what's up. Maeve will drop. He has one job, and it's to carry that spike, and he often never gets to. So, hey, that's the third one found here for the side of Carleton.
It's a step. You mentioned before, gotta take the little steps, gotta take those small movements forward, and, you know, one by one. The second round as well, we do expect them to come out with a lot of fire. You can already see the Spectres, the Singers, maybe a Bulldog even. Minho kind of going deep into that barrel. Bling Bling Boy, of course, on the other side is going for that Sheriff, just waiting to buy up in that third of the half. This defense, though, take a look. One more defending as Super Haven goes, okay, I'm going to try the shot. Miss. It is now getting kind of ganged up on here.
just a little bit. The Dizzy came through, and now they're getting yelled at by a boom bot. That they are getting paranoid, and eventually they are going to be kind of dropped all the way down, but they aren't dead as of yet. Bling Bling Boy hang out from opposite distance. They stopped shooting at him because they thought they killed him off that stinger. That's exactly why they still live. Maeve is going to retreat, and there is so many Carleton players. Oh, the whip shot by Bling Bling Boy. They throw the pain shells, and they're just, you know, they're cool with staying in the fray. This is going to be a nice attack and push, and they have 3 survive, and that'll be a generally healthy bonus round.
I think that's great. Remember how the first 2 rounds in this game went? It was straight down to the wire. It was 1 left alive, and things just went sour. And I think that's why it felt kind of hopeless. You went into that third with basically nothing in your pocket. This time around, you have plenty in your pocket. You have more than enough money to buy into that fourth. It's going to feel great. You're hoping to hold it down. And Zera, you also denied a lot of kills on the back end, meaning that these ult chargers are not really stacked up. There's not a whole lot of econ on the other side as well. So Zera's still going with that sniper, which is understood, but a little bit of light armor trickled out throughout the rest of the squad. This is going to be a dangerous game to play for, though, as a quick snap. But this time, Zera is allowed to go ahead and get to safety. A little bit of healing in there as it's back up to about 84 thanks to the wall. But this is going to be the big challenge. This is understood by Carleton as a difficult take, so instead of forcing, go ahead and look at a little bit of a rotate.
That's so OP. Bling Bling hanging out with their sentry turret, but they know they connected with that shot, so that's going to be a very damaged raise, and so Fidel is going to have to really pick where they end up spending the majority of their efforts. It looks like Spike is going to travel here tentatively into B. You do have the rendezvous online, and Bling Bling catches Zera as they try to get a bit aggressive, even from their own spawn side. But even with that push, they play decoy. Look at that. They're actually looking for a pick from C and B main. They spin that door to keep them locked in as the spike travels again. But are they ready for this rubble peak? The paranoia now has to be combined off of the paint shell throw, and they get gunned down. Jihoon and Minho open it up, and they're going to be able to march.
30 seconds left.
I mean, there's no way they get 3 in a row, right? It wasn't like you were talking about the fact that this feels a very attacker side, and is this gonna happen? We're not sure. At the current moment, in a 5v2 situation, a miracle kind of has to play, and I mean, Superhaven is one to watch for. Of course, that was a low HP target. Minho's around the other side, and it's a quick little double swing here. Seb is still able to find one, but I think it's going to be a little bit more dangerous. Your back end is about to be exposed. You are being chased, and things could not look worse. Quick tap on the body, into the head. Bling Bling Boy sends them straight to heaven, and it's going to be a 5-10 scoreline, as that is a very heavy 3 rounds in a row.
If there was ever 3 rounds to be gained, especially to stay in a game of Lotus, it was the first 3 to complete the bonus walking into it. This next one, they obviously are going to be playing into a poor eco. You have a lot of cash built up if you're Carleton. I expect a timeout if this is, I mean, probably regardless after this round. If not this one, then the next, if it is a loss. So trying to play at least a slow down game against it. Zera only has the headhunter, so they're going to be playing very conservative, a few golden bullets. Oh, and they actually slung one like a slingshot, but they did not hit Goliath's forehead.
That kind of hurts, but again, it's information granted. Now take a look at how cheeky this B-side push is going for the side of SFU. Superhaven wants to make an exclamation point mark here. Yeah, that's great, but that's going to be the turret taken away, and you still get launched in the body. So, I mean, you're back to 85, but still feels kind of bad. You go ahead, back up to the rest of the team.
Play life. Play for an elongated engagement, because the more you do that, especially when you're on the low eco, then you're actually burning through all the advantage that Carleton is walking in with. Oh boy, Zera, they barely escape, especially with hot feet, exploding feet. Fidel opens up heaven as Super will fall. They get another one with the Frenchman being able to fall as well, so Zera's off the map. This becomes a 5v2, and Minho's taking care of work. They are squeezing the Swede in the secret box, but they are just gonna have to fall into the gap and then cannot keep themselves on their feet. That's 6. First 4. This was an eco, so SFU, this has got to be the bounce back moment. If this topples Orbital, you can really start seeing success on the horizon to continue. That's what I'm talking about. Get this timeout, prep for next.
I think you have to. You know, this is You still have a safety net. There's still plenty of a safety net currently laying down for the side of SFU. You don't have to worry too much. I know that you were talking about, hey, this is a buy up. If it goes south, yes, it's going to be about 2-round difference, but I think you're okay. Remember, all you really need to win are 3 more, and all you need is about 1 in 2 rounds each time. If you go ahead and win this one, you feel like you put the rest of Carleton into a little bit of a rough position, and you're working with that showstopper that can easily open up a lot of space for the side of SFU if you so wish. But I think the main thing is, of course, keep those guns in hand. Don't let the rest of this game kind of wear you out. Yes, they didn't go exactly the way you wanted, but your main strengths are when you have guns in hand. So let's see if we can, watch and see if Carleton continue this run of pain, or if they're going to go ahead and kind of get a little bit sloppy. We'll see how it goes, of course, because this is to keep yourself in for the semifinals.
I want to see what kind of buy this is going to be as well. I want to know what's going to be in Zera's hand because, all right, operator is going to be there. You have the showstopper as a great retake tool, or maybe even just to exact some counter pressure. Zera is going to be still on C. They've been hanging out there as a primary sentinel that entire time. That waterfall rendezvous is just so strong, but they're actually going to allow themselves to kind of rotate with B. How fast do they step? They're actually running it all the way up as they want to play that off angle for entry. And now Maeve, they have that showstopper. They've seen this position be rough for Carleton at times, and they can kind of funnel them down. But look at how this is a fantastic read off of a timeout. They were expecting an aggressive defense, and look how they have not strayed to go to A.
I think also you heard some of the footsteps over there on A a little bit through that tree area, and he said, hey, I kind of know you're there, so let's go ahead and play it a little bit more smart. Let's not force this. Instead, let's rotate over towards that C site. I mentioned how it can be a little bit difficult on C if you're not careful. I think Superhaven realizes that one. That's going to be the Thrash go ahead and get knocked out. No usage right there. This is going to give a call to the other side. Take a look at this pinch, though. Slenzer doesn't look the right way. Corner is currently being held. A Bling Bling Boy might have the opportunity, and that's a great peek. Maeve says, no, this is ours. And a great first pick now means it's a 4v5 retake attempt.
Viper Pit and the showstopper still up, but that means they can put a huge bit of AoE damage if they want to really get back into the Gak Pit. See if they want to. It's going to be here from top side of site. Showstopper gets popped. Maeve looking for a target. They're right next to him.
Oh.
They go. There goes the pit. Now it's all about how you get your targets. They're going to swing from around the column.
So
Super gets rid of Jihoon, and now that means it's a 5v1. What a turn. What a play. They're going to just work for it off of this corner, but not able to diff out on the raise. That was calm execution by SFU.
And I think a huge point that they went for is they stopped doing that huge spread. Of course, that's the default. Yes, you need to have members on most sides, but you gave up a lot of ground with guns in hand. That was a crazy thing. And yes, it was identified. Carleton said, hey, this is a very aggressive defensive position, so let's go ahead and play smart. Let's play safe. But I want to call out how quickly SFU grouped up and how willing they were to give up the site. One of their main strengths on the attacking side is they just rushed together. There was no real difference. They were able to cover each other's backs. That's what they did here. That swing in B, making sure that no one could catch their back, very well executed. So right now, I like what they called down. Yes, they had to expend a couple ults, but I think it's still going to work in their favor. They got their mojo back. Let's see if they can continue forward.
Oh. Seb with 1 HP. That's a fool's errand on the other side of it, but it was a lot of showstopper and splash damage and not much else to be seen. Again, Fidel having to receive it on the end by Maeve. So Maeve has been very influential about saving their teammates and finishing out, getting rid of any of that lethality from the raise of the Carleton. So 4v4 now. You've got the Thrash online for a retake. No big ultimates to really pivot with. You gotta, I mean, you've committed the talk screen. If you're not going to commit to A, it's going to have to be off of a big play call to run it somewhere else. But I feel like A is going to be their main thoroughfare. They put out a dark cover just to kind of dissuade them for the moment.
The longer this sticks down, the worse I actually feel it's going to be for Carleton, because I don't know if you're as confident as SFU on a hard bum rush if you only have about 20 seconds left. Of course, if the site is fully given, that's a whole different story, and it looks like they are going to get a free site. 4v4 is what you're looking at. Wingman's going to go ahead and get the plant. But right now, this is going to be a big chance. I'm kind of curious how it goes. Remember, the Thrash is still online for the defenders if they so wish. They can throw it down, create a little bit of space, and make your way in. But this 3-point flank that they're deciding on is going to be the other call. Keep sending it out now, trying to chase, trying to figure out. That's going to be exploded in the backside. Good little hole. Bling Boy is going to die, and Slenzera says opportunities abound. Don't let ourselves get caught.
What a read. They knew that everyone was protected over in trees, so they had to get rid of the free one. Maeve is going to actually walk it into the talk screen. And that's Jihoon. Wow, 3 in a row right now. And that's the last one. Super will drop as they just step through the talk screen. I thought that this one was almost going to be completely free, but they end up on the other side of sight. So not dead yet. Not match point yet. Remember, this is just best of one. This is all about this map in particular. And look how bummed out the eco is going to look right now. You have 2 rifles. They're actually going to commit up into this one orbital. It looks like they're going to bring the fight to Carleton. And Carleton, they're pretty comfy wherever they got to go.
I mean, this is... I have to say that felt like SFU just got a little bit overconfident. They had the player advantage and said, hey, this is ours. And they forgot that, hey, you can't wander into a site like that. It's so difficult. You don't have the util in your back pocket, and you expended a decent amount earlier on. So right now, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to round yourselves out. This is once again going to be that kind of forward-facing defense. A little bit of hold there on C Mound. That's the call down of the 2 of the forest, but no one's on that angle, so it feels a little bit wasted here in the early stages.
Actually, I have the blind with the dizzy as well as the paranoia over the waterfall if you want to use those, and that can help this engagement. The lockdown's going to get expended, and now you got, as they try to use the rolling thunder, they're going to press out. That is very aggressive, and that is going to be how SFU just simply wants to play. The boom bot to clear out that right side of Mound, and Zera waiting. Oh, the swing shot. Use that tour de force. Minho will drop. That means the talk screen is not going to be used, but it was already planted for C, and you find it off angle. Maeve will fall. Weapon still in hand. This is an eco for the side of SFU. They're trying to secure the opposite end of this, but it's going to be Keep that gets rid of Fidel. C ain't free.
Oh, man. I was a little bit hesitant because it was a save round. I was like, why are you expending these ults? But it did create that opportunity. Now they have to follow up a little bit more behind. Rotating Slenzera over is the right call. Hey, they don't really have weapons, but Tour de Force is real. Slenzera sends one to the grave, has a little bit of a teleporter active. And all of a sudden, Vaughn is just in a rough spot. You're wondering if you can get across. You use that short-range teleport. Get yourself in a better spot, but Slenzera is still holding it down. Timer is running out here. They have to get the plan down. This is going to force them out into the open. 9 seconds left. Man, wondering if they can, and it's stopped. Oh, disaster strikes, and you have no chance. It's out. It's done. You don't get this plant. Disaster overall, as right now it's a thrifty round victory, as SFU are 1 away from taking this game.
What a throw of the mosh pit, because it just goes 1, 2, 3, explode. Anything in that is gonna die. And Wingman, even if they're buried deep in that corner, no way, shape, or form that they were gonna survive. So suddenly, what was a thrifty and completed as one, now SFU, they make something that looks like they're playing from a place of disadvantage suddenly turn, because they know how to just stagger their ultimates and play to each of those engagements. So surefire. Slender Zera, oh, they planted this one for tree. Oh, and they somehow missed. I thought that was on target.
I mean, Zera, I sometimes, you know, even if the shot doesn't hit, it's enough to back him away. Take a look. Full back out, not a chance in heck. They're going to challenge right now. Minho, though, getting stunned up. This is the opportunity. Teammates are there to back it up, but Maeve is more than ready. Gets a 2-piece and a 3. What a play. Maeve single-handedly kind of holding down here in this B main area. And all of a sudden, the questions are abound. You have a minute to decide where you want to go, but pretty much all the options for Carleton do not look good.
They're like, okay, operators on A. We're not going that way. B and C. We've already just been, you know, fish in a barrel on B. That means we go to C and look at the read. Seb and Keep, you're going to have a lot of blinds to have to walk through, as Keep, they started this map off with a big 4K situation. We're going to see if they can be able to do it again. Off this defense, just waiting on the cross. And they're going to use that reposition. They're going to go north side, but that's the read. They do find them. This is, you have to commit. You have 25 seconds unless you swing door. All right. Now that they know the cross is here, they're walking it away, but that operator is going to be in secret. Are they ready?
That's the call. Slenzera said, yo, I still got the body. It's 2 to go, and Zera opens and closes the match 13-7 to go ahead and push them to the semifinals.
Great looks, great cooks by the side as SFU. Simon Fraser is going to be moving on the Raccoons, bring it live and loud as they go through. And you know what? That was starting to look like the old 10-2 prophecy that I've been seeing hanging around with Lotus was actually going to work out. But it was truly that timeout and then working there forward that slowed the momentum of Carleton. Great ideas. And, you know, I feel like they're very excited to go meet up, especially with a possible, I guess, rivalry moment, because I think SFU Pink is going to be their next rival, unless some big catastrophe happened. That's my expectations.
I would agree with that one, and I think really it's everyone on the side of SFU Raccoons really did step up at the end of the day. You know, getting that extensive lead, even though we do say it's pretty common, you know, we see it a lot on Lotus. I think it's so impressive to get there. As much as we say it's a common one, it's still difficult to be able to pull off and in that kind of aggressive fashion. One of the reasons I was still very confident for SFU Raccoons is they just look better on the day in some of those gun duels and straight up gun duels. Yes, a little bit of the nerves at the end of the day. Still felt very strong, and unfortunately for Carleton's side, they fought hard. They fought extremely hard. They were making their way back, but you know, just some of those last fights, it felt like Maeve kind of turned on the switch and said, "Hey, I'm still here to fight." Very well done. I'm excited to see what the next round brings.
It's going to be a wild one as well. And of course, you guys have been out in the chat. You've been doing CIE 2024. That's a big thing for you to do because the bot is out there taking all of your entries for the giveaway that's happening. There's also a charity show match that is going to be happening next Monday. If you like Valorant, well, it's happening today. It's also happening Monday. There's going to be a charity show match featuring 2 separate charities. It's going to be Family Smart as well as Metro Vancouver Regional Parks. That's MVRP Foundation. A little bit of highlight to both. Family Smart is about achieving better mental health for children and youth. And of course, they mean to see each other as well as hear each other through all the different things that you have to go through in life. So make sure to check them out with, you know, Family Smart as well as the MVRP. They've got a lot of different programs for being able to travel, bus grant program, helping connecting underserved groups to the beauty of nature, as well as connecting, teaching, sustaining youth society, just like what we get to see with these students, nonprofit organizations, and they aim to connect every youth in Metro Vancouver with their natural environment and their community. Make sure to check these guys out. These are fantastic groups, and we get to see awesome charities all the way around. And this is the kind of stuff that you can be able to expect with CIE 2024, especially. So we're going to talk more about that stuff, and of course, some more Valorant in just a little bit. We're going to take a short break before our semifinal. We'll see you in a moment.
When I first heard about the TELUS esports series, I was like, there's no way.
I was absolutely stoked. You don't really hear about esports at all in Canada, let alone from a big company like TELUS.
Canada does have a scene, and we do have people who are thriving towards getting us into that bigger picture.
2 versus 1, and it should be their game. The Bronze Bonobos from second, now finally find first.
Simply put, the TELUS Esports Series is esports for everyone. It's our take of what we think the esports industry should look like and where we think it should go. It's way more fun to compete for something when there's something on the line. And the TELUS Esports Series gives players of all skill levels opportunities to experience that. We really want to make the gaming experience more fun for everyone, and we want to help the gaming industry evolve and grow the way that it should. And I think the time is right for it.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting back into the CIE 2024 Valorant exhibition. I'm Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside Orbital, and you just got to see a top 8 showcase. It was a quarterfinal matchup. Carleton just couldn't cut the stuff as they went down, and now it's SFU, literally on both sides, will be dominating your screen. Orbital, we get to see we're chasing along with SFU Raccoons. It's going to be a battle of the dumpster. How do we feel about these two as we go into our rosters?
I don't know if calling it a battle of the dumpster is appropriate. I know one team's sticking around in there, but they've already found like gold and treasure.
That's true.
Whether it's theirs or not. They played extremely well so far, and I mean, it's been impressive. But I mean, on the other side, SFU Pink are a squad that a lot of people do know already and should know them. I mean, very, very strong squad. We saw them also yesterday, I think, and they cruised to a victory. Very powerful. So I can only expect a crazy match with a little bit of shenanigans sprinkled in.
Hey, you know what? One man's trash is another man's LeBron James. So we're going to be able to see some great plays out here, no matter where we're going. And we're going to go ahead, check out those rosters again for you right now. SFU Pink. This is the team that literally can't stop winning, even if they tried. It's Kane, it's Stu, Slayer, Kaho, as well as Glow. I have seen them play so often, and because they're playing, you know, only above the border, they don't have to play against San Jose State in yet another grand final reverse of the lower bracket. So it's just SFU. Pink obviously has been fantastic, but the Raccoons on the other side of things in this conversation, Orbital, you saw them a little bit ago. This squad looks really decent, but they, you know, we talked about it's the quote-unquote pickup squad. How do they measure up against Pink?
I think they're going to have a little bit of a hard time. I mean, if we're talking about Raccoons with their exceptional aim, this is, you know, kind of a system team coming in here, and you have to know that you're facing off against a pretty dang good squad. So no introduction needed there, but the Raccoons are going to have a little bit of a time as they are starting off here on that, I believe, attacking side. And we've seen how strong they can be, but Bind itself brings a pretty interesting matchup history. I'm curious what agents they're going to select. Remember, last time they felt pretty meta standard. I know the Gecko came out here. Of course, with Gecko looking into this map as well on Bind is kind of an interesting one for me, but I think Nate just kind of wants to run it just to be more comfortable in this map.
A little bit of change up of these agency positions as well. Seb was on the breach a little bit ago. Now they're going to be on that raise, still a key staple when it comes to Bind. Zera in particular, I know they're playing kind of a flex duelist as well. Well, they're flexing again. They're going to be that off controller on this brim away from the chamber that we saw a little bit ago. Keep still on the initiator as well for the Sky, and then you rock into the Gecko regardless. So that's going to be fun. Slayer, if they lock in that Yoru alongside Kaho on this jet, no, okay, it's going to be raised. That would have been kind of defining of this matchup and how trickeration will be at play.
You can see here, I mean, Bind is map number 1, but we got plenty more to show. We got map number 2 of Split, which is like, at this point, like a collegiate special. I don't know. It's like the map right there. I mean, it is there. And then we go to my all-time favorite map if we go to a game 3. So I'm sure you're hoping it doesn't. We're going to go to Breeze at the end of the day, which I love. Love the open air. Love the style there. And I'm excited to see what they can do.
Bruh, you like Breeze? Oh, goodness.
I like the evil maps. That's all it really is. Wow. It's all the maps. I'm a sniper at heart. I can't spray and pray to save my life. I need those long hallways. I need the open air. Breeze has like the largest open spaces. The mid is freaking open for opportunities at points. And it's just, I love it.
You know what? I'm going to give it to you. Everyone can like something that other people don't. Apparently, you chose the one thing that no one likes. So
listen. No. I'm going to explain this right now. I haven't explained this to you once, and you forgot. I'm so mad at you. I used to play Counter-Strike back in the day, and back then, if you ran a sniper, it was only the scout. You had a one-tap opportunity. That's why I do it. That's why I still play it. I also just suck at spray control. That's the end of the story.
Well, knowing that these two, as you know, program specific sister teams have been playing each other a lot, and they walk into this best of 3 to define who will be going into the finals of our CIE tournament. You know that they kind of have the play call here. You use the talk screen to walk one out. I think it was Kaho on that jet as well, but Kaho now is taking up this long B position. Zera is running for their life. They don't want to face Kaho.
But I love the fact that Zera also kind of had their pants down, was trying to pull out util, was thinking about throwing down, I think, a little bit of a smoke and seeing what they could do, but instead it got met with a couple of bullets. But you gave a lot of great information. Now keep in mind, this is a split. Take a look. CT's spawn is holding one angle, but four are on the other side. Kaho, though, said, yo, this is mine. And the attackers are wondering exactly what went down. Elbow is currently the hold here as Stu lays down some good damage, but not the kill. And these are looking a little bit dire, but Kane currently trying to defuse. It's going to get messy. Kane gets one. Kane is looking for a little bit more, and that's it. Because of the wingman, it's just so perfect. Glow gets the final, and it is a wash. How quickly and speedily that was Pink to clear it up.
I like that Kaho and Zera completed their game of tag. Because Zera had run all the way in through hookah, reposition, and Kaho says boop, right around the corner. So good looks there for SFU Pink, as this is a very winning squad, a very experienced squad in particular, and obviously kind of that massive rep for the side of Simon Fraser. So it's going to be a big buy. You're going to see some Bulldogs, maybe a Marshall bot in, but look at this pressure. They're reading well. Oh, man, the double blind off the guiding light and the dizzy, and Slayer's going to try and play back up. They're also playing fish in a barrel, trying to keep up alive.
Wow.
And Kane will find the final pick.
Honestly, good on Keep to at least get two. That quite honestly should have been a wipe. But Showers is like one of the most scary areas to try and wander through, especially with that blind going out there. The goop getting in your face is frustrating enough. But Showers has a tendency to either be a make or break for one side or the other. I've never seen, I want to say, teams actually go even. Inside the Showers, it's always one team just straight up dominates and they get a push through or they get held back. It's one or the other. At the current moment, it does seem like we are watching the likes of Raccoons decide, hey, we want to be the ones to try and take an advantage right there. We're the ones that are going to try and push forward into Showers one more time. At least get a little bit extra. But you can see the likes of Pink saying it. We're not too worried. Do what you want. We're still going to hold it down.
Be testing a bit of the metal here. That poison orb is going to give them at least a walk-up position, but even on that read, they know that there's going to be a walk-in here from Showers, using that Pathfinder to know that someone's still playing off that U angle. So off the plant, they will bring it over to box, but no, that plant actually was for truck. So they're going to be playing from off this box shower position, now facing towards box. Kane and Seb, as they are exchanging some, it becomes a 4v3. You do have the Thrasher already online. Couldn't really weaponize this, but Kaho, they are a standing turret, and they take out two.
Kaho gives no cares in the world and is straight up wrecking right now. No thoughts had empty, just bullets, but Keep holds it down instead. We were watching the wrong angle. We know Keep can clutch it up, but man, did they clutch up hard, saving a round that they were expected to win by some static metrics. Man, did that get close though.
It did, and because it got down to all of one, Keep obviously, it's 6-2, helping the rest of the squad limp along, and Kaho was very much a tyrant from on top of the double box. This is not going to be a healthy, well, I mean, the bonus is done, so it's going to be a rough rifle. You do see Zera looking between both a Judge and a Bulldog. I'm not going to overly examine some of the early eco, but Kaho is one away from a Blade Storm, and obviously showcasing to the rest of the team that this is going to be the anchor upon which that they can tend this boat. Look at this full push out B. There's a 4-1. They have all of their Viper hanging out heaven on A, and no one knows where in the world anyone else is because they were testing all the lanes on A instead. And now look at this creep all the way from distance, and it's Kaho with first blood.
This is turning into a test of how many people can Kaho kill and how many people can Keep just try and fight back with. Zera, though, said, yo, that ain't gonna work. Sorry, we get that freebie. And then it's said to just fire right back. So far, we are seeing some life start to wake up here. And for Raccoon, just keep in mind, they're kind of a mix of the rest of the squads of SFU, so may not be the most experienced team playing together as a squad. But individually, they are quite strong, and that's what makes it kind of fun to watch. Right now, though, stuck into a 4v3. One lurk on the far side. The Raccoons are like, yeah, we'll keep digging butt. For the side of Pink, in this gun round, you were hoping they had a little bit better time. For a moment, though, just kind of wandering their way around. Slayer inside the smoke.
It's a good reposition. They knew that they always have these TPs as a way to kind of immediately rotate around. So the spike does go down, and Slayer having to deal with a bit of vulnerability off of their own team Snakebite. But Now they're hanging from way distance. The Thrash is actually what gives them this confidence to do it, and they're making sure that there is no deep angle. They already saw someone dead in their spawn. That's Kaho. That's the first time I've seen a Jet all the way in the attacker side spawn. Seb is going to have to step away from the Molly, and now the Thrasher is going to get employed as they do throw the Molly out. That's going to be a no recover on the Thrash ultimate. It becomes a 2v4, but Slayer's still finding big picks.
Those picks hit a little bit too hard here as Seb closes in on 3, has that showstopper available, and it's evened up. A very neat one as well. Raccoons throwing down with the best of them. We're still waiting for the side of Pink to really show up here. I mentioned before that I saw them yesterday and they seem to really be on fire. They're out to a little bit of a slow start. Now, granted, there's plenty of game to play. The first 4 rounds don't always mean anything. But of course, we do want to see them have a good time. Zera, though, surprisingly enough, currently the one with a judge. Normally we see this on a Raze or a Jet, so it's kind of fun to see it in the hands of kind of a slow mobility piece. Of course, you can do a lot of damage if you so wish, as Kaho brings the blades out. Now, currently sitting in a 3-2 default, but this is a hard push, most likely coming in for the side of the Raccoons.
One thing that we didn't mention and reflect there on is that this is a double setup on both sides. Oh, Kaho with the drop down. They eventually are getting taken out by Zera and the judge. So there's a weapon online and on the ground. But oh wow, from this truck position as well, Slayer off the stinger finds a couple. There's no senties out here, by the way. That's why some of these lurks and some of these positions are easily found as they try to make for the flank. Seeker's gonna get employed though, and this now off this attack, they do have the plant down. They're gonna have to hold this from distance.
I'm not sure if they're gonna enjoy that one, but Slayer says, yeah, I'm kind of good here. Let's go ahead and try and fire away. Question marks abound though, and Super Haven gets another, gets a third, can you get a fourth? Yes, you do! Super is a super freaking hero as a clutch up in a 4v1.
Oh man. Lots in the chat. Give it to me. Okay, nice lurk. I love the program talk between both these squads. Even if they lose the round, they're feeling like they're gonna win the war because they can get all the guns out of hand. And that actually turns it into a big rebuy situation for Pink, because now look what they don't have if this ends up into a loss. They need to really promote from the front for this one. And look how Slayer is gonna find this deep position into this cubby. They have a showstopper and they use that blast back to get to safety.
Yeah, I gave a lot of credit over to Superhaven there. I mean, yes, it was a save round. This is the big one to play for, but it still gives a big ego boost. You get that 4K, and that's the best part about it. Right now, you are still wondering. You mentioned that showstopper is available, but it's available for both sides, and that's what they're kind of waiting for. Kaho on the top ropes goes ahead and gets that dash ready and available, but both Thrashes come out to play, and Kaho gets a freebie. A free fire into the backside as Superhaven gets caught by the Thrash. And all of a sudden, Slayer might get a freebie, but Superhaven was able to stay alive. In goes the smoke, keeps yourself safe. Of course, keep yourself a little bit more blinded. You pop right out, say hello. The previous round was not a coincidence. It is a surefire fact. Another hold here, as it is going to be a 3v2. This is going to be Pink trying to get this defeat. Or at least there's denial, but Kaho fires away again.
Oh my gosh, here's the problem is that you have to commit on that one and they're gonna chase him down. Fine, Super. You committed the Viper Pit, walked out of it, and now it's spiked down. Look at what you're completely separated from the spike. Might have even just like got up from their keyboard, like just look at one of the Pink teammates and be like, man, like, why are you doing that? Super was doing so good.
The painful reminder that this game can go kind of any which way, which is really, really fun. I'm really enjoying what we're seeing thrown down. And granted, I'm not gonna lie, I'm rooting for Raccoon. I love what they did in the previous game, and it's very fun seeing them because it feels like the macro is there. It's not amazing or anything like that. It's there. It's very solid. But what draws me is, I swear, they get better and better with regards to getting those unconventional rounds. You know, that 1v4 or anything like that. It feels like they pull out these hero plays like it's nothing. That's what I hope to see a little bit more of. Right now, though, it is still a very controlled environment for the side of Pink. 4-2, currently pretty happy. Let's see if they can do it again now, as they do go ahead and buy up. They're going to be met with a couple stingers there, so not too difficult to get through. Of course, Slayer has other ideas as they're looking for the big wallop.
They do have the showstopper and the orbital strike online for the side of the Raccoons. Slayer with a ginormous judge, though. That's a cool one. I do like that one. But off this box position, it's a look deep into hookah. Well, they saw one. that's about as Call of Duty as you're gonna get. So first one does drop off. Knowing that neither of these teams are playing, quote unquote, ultra sweaty with no sentinels, they're playing for active intel as well as active positioning, not to take too long. And that really lends itself to what a program matchup can do, SFU v SFU in this case. So I like that they're really kind of running into that. Orbital strike does come down, and poor Wingman will be the only one to fall, which means they're still separated from Spike.
It's a rough one to be in as Stu goes, yo, let me show you what I can do. Now in this position, holds the high ground, says it's all mine. Superhaven's going to come around the corner and is on point with those shots, but you got to do a few more. 3v3, keep able to follow up behind Tahoe. Big Fragger down right now, and Glow, one of the last members alive. In this situation, you're going to try and hold. You don't have much in the bucket. Might be enough. So you go ahead and give yourself a little bit of a stim. Of course, you're just kind of wandering away here. You're waiting to see maybe going to try and get that plan down with the Wingman. Not going to happen, but does give away your position. Shower is now going to be cleared.
Second time Wingman falls. Able to get the recovery. 14 seconds. They're going to throw out the mosh pit, and they can't peek for free. They may actually just kind of blind fire through this, but there's not going to be any wall bang. So eventually the plant comes through. 2 Wingman and 1 Gecko. How many does it take to plant a spike? Well, that's how many. Kane hasn't been sniffed out. Glow did, though, and that's 1v3 now. Everyone kind of corralled to U-Haul and onward. But does Kane make that read? They have to win at least one of these fights to make it winnable, and it's going to come down to this first one. They find the first. Now they're going for the defuse.
See if they do it. Again, they got to get the great shots. Kane is able to make it. 30 HP left. It looks like they're not coming around the corner. Superhaven is able to get the Wingman. Oh, just seconds left. And now it's a 1v1 duel. Can you get it? Superhaven has clutched up before. We're close up again. You're just peeking. You have the clock. And you get it. The jumping headshot is real. Superhaven. Another 3K. Another multi-frag. Yes, you lose your life. But my God, the saves are real.
Oh my God, that one was fun. You knew that it came down to Kane having to isolate each of these fights, which kind of is rough for Pink because they knew that if they know they can be able to win those like individual skirmishes, but the fact that they isolated themselves to just get more intel from each of the entries, be it from shower or from short or from off of heaven on the flank. So man, Kane was cooking. That was looking like really good. So we walk into round number 8. Kane the hero right now, or at least nearly a hero. As Super was looking fantastic at the end of these rounds. Really the clutch up master.
As much as I've enjoyed it, and I mentioned how good of a clutch up factor they are, that doesn't always win the game. In FPS, everyone knows you need consistency. You need that consistent factor, and at this point, can't keep banking on those 1v3s, 1v4s. I think that's how Pink are willing to play. As much as you're enjoying this kind of intercollegiate fight, a little bit of scrap. You didn't check your back, and that's a big problem to be had. Slayer gets a freebie, and now a route on 1. Quick teleporter usage as you hop your way over to B, but Stu is ready to go. A bit of free fire available, and that's going to be a little bit of a blind not being utilized as Kane just fires away. Free fire, and then some. It's the 4K for Kane. A 30-round win, as it's a flawless round indeed.
Thrifty comes through. That one was nearly the sure thing, and it should have been. What it could have, should have, though, will be left in the back pocket as 5 are required now for Pink. Your Raccoons, well, they're steps from finding greatness. They do have still now a trio of ultimates very able to not only clear sight, but really defend if they can be able to get a post plan. You have that Thrasher available for Kane, but 11 and 4 is Kaho. Rest of the squad has been very lethal. Pink really kind of taken the little brother squad, if you will, B squad, other whatever you want to call it, and really kind of showing them the ropes at this point.
I think they're doing so well, honestly. This is a very fun game to watch. I don't care what anyone else says. I am loving this action between Showers and once again going to be held down, but look at the taps. Superhaven is on fire, and I have no idea why. Like, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Whenever they're given the opportunity, they will pop off. Another kill. Superhaven is living in situations that I really feel they should not. Clearing out that B side. Now, there's a lot of information that, hey, I don't think it's being held that much. You can see the defenders kind of hustling. They have to send someone over. They have to have someone defend, and Glow's like, I got Showers at least. So this kind of heavy-handed purchase might be the undoing, but of course in the 3v4, anything can happen.
And have this swing a 20 HP Viper, and yet Super might as well be at 1,000 HP. No one finding them. This site is wide open, and it's been peeled like that by Super. They're just kind of waiting for anyone to engage, and they know that they've been able to create enough noise. The actual play at this point, with as much pressure and much distance as Super has been able to find, is actually to play for A. They're going to go into this teleportation hallway, and they're actually just going right to it. So they travel the entire distance to rotate, like, Beast free, Beast free. They see him down, they're like, nah, and they plan for truck.
10 seconds left.
I love that you're kind of losing your mind about this because it's one of the best things in the world. We're just like, bro, what is going on here right now? That's another tap over the wall right now. Or between us, Kaho is like, bro, this is so frustrating. Am I going to win? Keep loses out here, and that's going to be the kill that they need to go ahead and re-enter this site. But it is going to be that lantern side as May just fires away, and you can't get the swing back, so Glow is going to try and hold it down. You got the gun more than available, and Glow gets the 3K. It's multis upon multis now, and that's going to be the 6th for Glow.
Super has got to be standing there, hands on hips, like the guy at the cricket match, because he's like, "How did you lose that?" I did everything, and they were able to stop Kaho as they came in through short, and then Glow had the glow up. And they it was a weird kind of positioning out from U-Haul, but Zera and Maeve looked uncomfortable. Obviously didn't think that they were just going to press in. They thought maybe they were at that heaven side position from A. So a lot of great efforts kind of squandered in that moment. But this is kind of a Super versus Kaho matchup. From what you got to see yesterday and into today, starting to see a trend here. And oh my goodness, this defense got like,
all it took was a rush. And a rush indeed caused some chaos. 3v2 situation. Kaho going, yo, that was big. Glow watches as the orbital strike crashes down to the sky. From the sky, I should say. Not to the sky. That sounds weird. Down to the sky. Oh my god. My English is terrible. 3v1 situation as Superhaven is like, I'm going to pull the super move once again. And if there's anyone to pop off just randomly, this is the one. The difference is they're coming and into the rest of the members. Beautiful job. Well done. 7-3 scoreline. It is going to be Pink to take a decent lead.
I mean, technically, an orbital strike. It depends on how far we, as the timeout's coming through, how far we define sky. Because if it's what? Land, and then you have sky for the atmosphere, and then you have space, which is where it's like rolling around. So, I'm pretty sure that laser's against the Geneva Convention, but I'd say it could go down to sky, but maybe the Geneva is not even here during this. We go into it 7 now for Pink, and it feels like this went a little lopsided when it, at least one of the previous rounds, especially not this most recent, but the one before, should have gone for the Raccoons. Even if that is a little tilting, SFU as a totality here, they've got to be having just a fun time, especially because this is a program matchup.
I mean, you got to get a little bit limber and loose. You also know that you have a grand finals on Monday to play. And even though this is an exhibition, which shout out to all the schools being willing to kind of show up and play. I mean, I don't think a lot of them are, they're spending some of their off time from school to do this. Big shout out to them. It's going to be fun. You got to get loose. You got to get limber. You got to have fun with yourself as you play in these matches. You also get a chance to kind of show off your own skill, which is a fun part about it. So I've enjoyed immensely this entire game, and I only hope to see more.
Well, we can walk into round number 11. Stu, where are you throwing that? Hold on. Wait.
Into the void.
Thank you, Observer. Wow. Okay, cool. I want to know
I like
about
how you were just so confused. You're like, really?
Well, I knew you could throw cross map for some things, but I was kind of curious about who that would defend against. But you do have the Viper Pit expended here for a full B hold. They can actually still pop out from hookah, so I don't exactly doubt them to challenge this, but they got to wonder exactly where that Viper is, and that the cluster or the clunk, the majority of the slime is near tree. Slender's there, able to get rid of Kane off a wallbang headshot. But that's going to be a pick that they pivot away from. But look at this flank from behind. Are they ready? They don't even see him. Slayer. Oh, no. Oh, he's just traveling with the rest of the team. He's with them. Yeah.
He just wants to have some fun. Don't call him out. There's no worries. Look at this. This is just creepy. That's going to be 2, at least a 3rd, maybe. Just go out. Slayer goes, yo, you got to check your back. And that feels so bad considering how many ults were expended in that round as well. Take a look. That was like 3. It was so much used and they didn't get anything out of it. Raccoons are so cheesed right now. They were hoping this was going to be a little bit more even round, and even if they win, it's going to feel kind of bad. 2v2 situation, though, as Kaho is going to send them all to the scrape. You ran right by, and it's going to be GG 8 to the side of...
We call that the cheese tax, and it was paid by the Raccoons. So 8-3, we go to the last round of this first half, and it is not a great buy situation for the Raccoons out of SFU, but Pink out of SFU are rich beyond riches. Kaho, Slayer, and Kane holding things down at the top of the stack. Glow has been able to really upend expectations, and Stu has honestly been playing just a solid support, kind of, you know, a flex around what I throw. We have the Poison Orb and talk screen to kind of walk it into. Look at this default. They're going to try to play off this precision, but this is also going to be a Thrasher that, well, just dies. Okay, cool. Showstopper! Everyone's squeezing them in!
Oh man, that's just chaotic. It's a team ace and then some. As once again, they're just doing their own. There is almost no problem there. As we will get the side swaps, of course. But on a 9-3 skill, we know the curse can be a real thing, and I'm curious to see if it's going to be a big player here on the day.
You have the double duelist versus the double initiator. We got double controllers on both sides. No Senti, no problem, I guess. But because you have no Senti, you have to lean into the half Senti that is the Viper. Superhaven has been very effective, and they're actually going to play for B instead of much more of that A. And as you kind of see the talk screen setups, that's been pretty composite from both sides. They know how to kind of take those plays and run with them, but I don't know. There's a lot of hope that maybe both Keep as well as Zera can be able to get some big value as well. We've seen them really be scrappy, but I mean, you have to slow down the role of Kaho, who really is who you pivot upon for this push up, and that's what's gonna be happening from just on this corner.
Oh, that's cheesy.
They blocked him.
Even Slayer knows you got away with daylight robbery right there. Like, even Slayer knew that, like, oh my god, I probably should have died there. You walked right into a dangerous zone, and you took a chance, but it's well played. Very easy pickup there, and I mentioned that in multiple times. Yes, it does feel like Raccoons are able to kind of pop up and play at points, but that's the whole thing. You want that consistency, and you mentioned it. It's the perfect call out. Kaho has been good. Keep as well has had some shining moments, but that classic from Kaho is just too powerful. 4v3 situation. This pistol is going ahead and leaning their way. I don't see it faltering anytime soon. Raccoons in the 3v4 have got to make some magic happen.
Now, I don't really believe in the 9-3 curse anymore. A lot of copium, but it could happen. You're going to swing elbow, wingman leading the charge. You have to waste all your extra shots into his overly flexed yellow body, as it's so tough to get around. Seb finds Dizzy, and it is a full stack of players up and down. There was like 3 peeps out of Pink that was just running it down wherever they were going to go. Classics in hand. So 10 double digits acquired. Not 10 double digits, but double digits acquired by Pink. So this one really going to be the turning point, and that's why I'm not surprised to see kind of a force up here.
I can agree with that one. You go ahead and just say, hey, it's no real big deal. You go ahead and just play for a little bit of cheesy fun here. You know you're in a dire strait, but you know you're having a good time, and I love the mix-up of what we got. You know, one player's like, yo, let's go big, let's go ahead and send it, and then the others are just like, let's have a bit of fun. A hard charge as Slayer meets the other end of Slender's barrel, and even Slayer's like, bro, really? All I want to do is have fun. Meg sends Kaho down into the dust as well. The counter shots are way too real, as this hard rush in is sending a lot of problems the way of Pink. Kane is finally able to get a kill. They keep freeze down 2 with the transfer. They didn't even have their 5th man there, as it's Raccoons to take the dub.
Lots of judges. All right, apparently this is the preferred judge skin as well. Just like what was in the old chat, and just like you said, strikes. You knew they were gonna run it at you, so you know, crack back at them. 10-4, good buddy. As we go into our 15th round, and I wouldn't be surprised if for the cheese ball in all of this, we see maybe some force ups again, but A couple of rifles do get purchased on this attack by Pink. The Raccoons. I want to see what that Outlaw does. An Outlaw in the hands of a Viper. How you feel about that?
I don't feel good, quite honestly.
Wow.
I'll be really honest. I was hoping for someone like Zera to pick it up because I mean Zera's been good. But granted, here on Bind, it's a whole different story. Superhaven though does feel like they can make magic happen at random times, and if you're able to follow up on a clean round like before, hey, that might be the dub to go for. Right now though, Slayer's like, yo, you better step back. I got a Sheriff instead, and that means you're Outlaw most of the time. Superhaven says, nope, Outlaw is having more of a blast than anything. Very nice pick.
It's a fantastic anti-eco weapon, and they use the paint shells. Oh, you have to get a tiny bit hurt. Tahoe doesn't lose any HP, but they do lose some armor as they trip through the mosh pits. Stu able to locate Zera, so it becomes a 4v4. Still playing by default is Pink, wanting to punish any overtly aggressive defense. But now the timer gets a bit sweatier than the players as they have been just kind of partying all over Simon Fraser campus. Now they start to creep up into hookah. Superhaven, they know, oh, there goes the Dizzy. That's going to be good intel to know that at least someone was nearby.
Of course, how many more are following behind? I think that's a big part about it. When we see these little bits and pieces, it's like you want a little bit more intel. There are intel pieces that can give a lot more away. You know, the combination's like, okay, then just like that is going to be a little bit of smoke out. And Slayer realizes things are in a little bit of a dire strait. Need a little bit of help, and that's going to be the call down. Keep, though, with a swing and a half, is able to find enough, but you get splattered out as Kaho has to walk away. Seb said, dang, can we get the kill back? 3v3 situation. Keep trying to send another bird. Still gets blinded out. Kaho trades for a third. Looking for a fourth. You can't seize ahead. Tap doesn't get the kill. Superhaven gets one back. 1v2, low HP. You need to hit these headshots dead on if you want that dub. Quite honestly, it's a difficult call. Kane ready with a little bit of a blind if you're able to make it work. And that's going to be the Dizzy just like, oh, wrapped up on the side and you hit it. Easy cleanup, but Superhaven does it through? Are you kidding me? No way Superhaven plays this off. Time's winding down, though. A little bit of a problem. You got to get there, and that's the jump. And that's going to be it. Well timed as Stu might meet their end, but no, they said it. It's a freebie. A little bit of teabag action as that puts the likes of Pink up at 11.
Even Super's laughing in the chat. They knew. They're waiting on me. There's no other way. They're going to try and get me, and they did. That's great. All right, the camaraderie is definitely coming through here for SFU. So Superhaven over there at 18-11. Kaho's had themselves a pretty good game, a 3.0 KD right now, 21-7, 11-4, as they've been trading blow for blow. We go into mostly a rifle round of this. This will be the turning point of, well, maybe not a lot for the side of Raccoons, but Pink, they get this one. I think then they start really kind of sprinting towards the finish line.
I think that's all they could really hope for. As much as you're having fun, you want to get these dubs, you want to finish up, you got another game to play afterwards. That's a TP usage, though. As Stu goes, yo, where are you going? Not a chance in heck. That'll be a... I like that. I like that. Even Tahoe's like, yo, that's such a lie. Get out of here. And they're going to chase now. Thrash is going to go ahead and bounce their way around. You take a look to the right. You try and splatter. I don't think it was caught. Knife is out. No knives available for anyone else, though, as this is that chase. Stinger is available. Spray of one. Superhaven looking for a bit more. Ain't no way, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Slayer puts up their third, and we are on map point.
Well, this is map number one, maybe about to close out here for our best of three. And of course, we still have split on the way for our second map. If it were to close out here in just a second, you do have the Bladestorm online. A few of these maybe about to activate. The only one that really could give defense out of Raccoons a good look is in fact these Seekers. But you know, when it comes down to this exhibition, they're showing off for you know, Canada and these awesome kind of institutions, and I'm just glad that they're able to kind of really showcase that they're having fun with what they do. Kaho will pop the Bladestorm, so let's see if they start throwing some big old knives. Oh my goodness, Super, you're lucky to be alive.
I mean, it does feel okay, but of course the knife was able to clip you, so it did a little bit of damage. Slayer's like, yo, let's bounce. Let's have a blast. Probably going to fire through that smoke and just see if you can land on anyone. So Zera, of course, trying to lay down a little bit of damage, but that battle sim is going to keep you moving, inch moving. Slayer, though, sees right through But you can't see through that Dizzy, and all of a sudden Maeve is looking like a strong suit. 3v2 situation as the attackers are more than favored in this setup. Knives go flying. It's a kill apiece, as that is going to be the end of game number 1.
Well, we go into it now as 13-4. I was expecting a lot from Pink, and it's exactly what we got out of them to start things off here. It was close until it wasn't. Really is just a supreme way of saying that there was a kind of a tight stack at the top. Kaho and Slayer and Kane obviously promoting from the front for the side of Simon Fraser. But Superhaven really gave us some fantastic kind of heroic times to run through this map and bind. And I mean, just seeing what they were able to do. This program obviously stacked to the nines with really great talent here, Orbital.
I loved it, and I can't continue to shout the praises of Superhaven. I mean, multiple times we're sitting there going, if it's Superhaven alive, there's a slight chance. And it looked better and better after the opening rounds. But we mentioned the consistency factor, the ability to play this very solid. We're always going to get a frag or two. It's not always going to be 3 or 4, and it's not going to be in dire straits. But when you win the initial gun duels, it presents so much more of an opportunity than, hey, I can clutch out in a 1v3. And honestly, the rotations, the call downs, it felt smooth from the side of Pink. And even though they're fighting a sister team, there ain't no way they're going to go down without a fight.
That's very true. And you know what? Just like these awesome players are finding great places to play at their particular universities and institutions, you guys out there as well in Canada can do the same thing with TELUS Arena. Exclamation point TELUS Arena. That's TELUS. To be able to give you the best place for Canadian gamers to play and improve their skills through free coaching as well from the pros, or compete to be able to win thousands of dollars in prizes. Whether you are a casual gamer just looking to be able to learn, or a pro gamer looking to be able to win, there's a place for you at TELUS Arena with monthly events across a variety of games. There's always something going on. Make sure you join TELUS Arena in the Discord to stay updated on all of their activities. And of course, that is one of our other key sponsors alongside BMO. That's BMO. So these guys have been able to help promote for all the activities here for CIE. Give them a lot of love out there in the chat. But for right now, give us some love, and as well as yourself, go get a snack, get some water, and maybe come back, kick up your feet. More CIE Valorant 2024 matches will be on the way after this short break.
When I first heard about the TELUS esports series, I was like, there's no way.
I was absolutely stoked.
You don't really hear about esports at all in Canada, let alone from a big company like TELUS.
Canada does have a scene, and we do have people who are thriving towards getting us into that bigger picture.
2 versus 1, and it should be their game. The Bronze Bonobos from second, now finally find first.
Simply put, the TELUS Esports Series is esports for everyone. It's our take of what we think the esports industry should look like and where we think it should go. It's way more fun to compete for something when there's something on the line. And the TELUS Esports Series gives players of all skill levels opportunities to experience that. We really want to make the gaming experience more fun for everyone, and we want to help the gaming industry evolve and grow the way that it should. And I think the time is right for it.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting into more Canadian collegiate action as we go into map number 2. I'm Hail Monkey Man with Orbital. As we get into it, we got to see a 13-4, a very dominant affair. But as an update, as lightning flash news comes at us from across the semifinal sphere, it was a double OT win for Ottawa Garnet on Con U Crimson's map Pick. They were playing Breeze. We might end up there depending on how it goes, but splits will be coming up in our very near future. I think you and I saw just like maybe a sneak peek ago that they are trading out some players and moving things around. This team in Pink feels very confident.
It was a very, very good one. And honestly, Pink was very solid. I think the highlights were not as high as I think, Superhaven coming out with a clutch or keep clutching up as well. But honestly, if you don't have to clutch, I think that's a better thing to have going on there. I mean, we love the hype moments, but if it doesn't get the dub at the end of the day, it feels bad. Pink are playing very solidly. Foundationally, they are a much stronger squad, and it feels like Stu is one of the big ones. Slayer as well stepped up very, very well. I mean, taking advantage and having such trigger discipline to get some of those surprise rounds, I think was a really big game changer. And people kind of sit there and say, hey, the rats sometimes are very frustrating to play against. Well, check your corners. That's the best thing I can say. Allowing 2 or 3 rounds where it's just like, hey, we snuck behind your team. You didn't check the corner, and all of a sudden things are wrong. I think they played extremely well, and I think Pink are going to do it once again here as we head over to Split.
I love the response of, ugh, rat. And you're just like, ugh, be better.
I'll be honest,
literally
that
be
comes
better.
from me. That comes from me playing battle royales and just being like, bruh, don't hate me for using a tactic in the game. Like, why you gotta be mean?
Don't not be bad. Like, it's just like, come on, get out there and check your corners.
I may be an absolute piece of crap when it comes to those games. Just a word out there.
Look, I've been told to get good when I was playing Dark Souls, and it took me a long time. I got good. These players, they have gotten gooder than all the goods that I've gotten. So we walk into Split. I expect Raze, which I see already, and so that's coming in live and loud. Slayer and Maeve, not at all surprised. We were missing Sentinels. Well, we've now at least got now we've got one on each side with our ciphers coming along. I want to see how this Clove kind of works out, because you have the complete control that you can get kind of out of Viper to be able to really walk in with that long standing talk screen, but this is aggressive, and of course it's Pink that wants to bring it with Clove and a Neon locked in.
I think it's just like forward is all you're seeing there. This is going to be a really fun one. I like what they're throwing down here, but this is a very tight corner to do it in. On Split, it's just a dangerous end is all I can say. It's if it goes well, it goes well, and you basically crush it. I think this is a comp that can steamroll you very quickly, and considering Pink's tactics, I think Slayer is going to be the one to watch for here, utilizing that raise to peak efficiency. As much as I want to say Elisa is going to have a good time, you are coming in here, subbing out, I think, one of the players. And, if it works, it works. But I always see that raise and just think, you're dead. I have no other way to put it. It just feels painful. So I'm excited to see if this is going to go to game 3 or if it's going to be finished off.
SFU so confident they bring in their manager to play. So gonna see how this all rocks and rolls.
Is that confidence or just disrespect? I don't know which.
It can be both. It can be, confidence and disrespect equals arrogance. And if there's anyone that decidedly is, allowed to do that, it's a team that has been this good in the Canadian collegiate sphere for this long. I think second only to maybe a handful of teams, but right now they're feeling like number 1. Also, if you want to check out what's going on, make sure to check out the other Canadian intercollegiate matchups. We have this stream as well as the other stream as we're handling both of the semifinals. Elisa, well, you said W, and they're trying to go find one right now as they hunt them into ropes.
Maeve was ready with that re-aggression, though, said, nah, we ain't playing that game. That's going to be the tripwire broken away, and it is going to be a push into the heaven side. Stu, though, lighting things up, trying to dance away, but Superhaven, once again, lights it up once again. A little bit brighter in their own favor. Stu, of course, looking for a little bit of retribution in a 3v2 situation, and all of a sudden, things slow down. Keep waiting around the corner with the teammate here in mid. It is going to be a little bit of an orb up. Umbot goes out. And I don't think they're going to get anything more. Kaho just chilling out in the backside, waiting for that orb to go down and for the smoke to allow a little bit more sense to see. But Stu's in for a little bit of a rude awakening as you are cornered. Keep realizes that, hey, there's someone else in mid. Gets a little bit of a gloop, and it's a nice to go ahead and take that kill. Keep putting a little bit of messiness. That's going to make the rest of Pink kind of sit forward in the chairs.
Maybe all of another inch or so to just kind of chill out with it. A knife to finish it off. They knew that they were going to get blinded out from the guiding light, but the Dizzy does a little bit more effective work. Actually, there was a whole like debate of Sky versus Gecko in that concept, but it's like no matter where you look, you get blinded by the Dizzy if you can't shoot them away. So they're very strong in pistols, and so apparently is the squad out of the Raccoons. So you bring up the memes, you gotta back them up. One way gets pushed up, and this attack, well, they down checked into mid. They're gonna reconvene over towards main out B.
I mean, hopefully they get a little bit of a dub on the board as well. So we'll see what they can do. Right now, it is gonna be a wandering into this B side. You can see a narrow full stack, 4 currently pushing in with no resistance whatsoever. By the way, this is just pure, yeah, let's run it. Seb, of course, is waiting on the backside and gets caught out by Slayer, who rounded out the back corner. When we say move forward, that's all Pink wants to do, and they're utilizing that to peak efficiency, getting a very quick plan.
I swore they were about to get got from around that corner. That's going to be clapped hands, and that's going to be a big amount of trades. It comes out to the advantage of the Raccoons. All the guns staying onto that defender side. Kaho and gang with just classics in hand, but Glow actually looking pretty decent as they do have the pick-me-up online as well. Even with the buy-up advantage here, they just have all of this 2v2. Now it comes down to just 2-0. So they took a lot of guns out of hands, and that's about as much damage as you can get, especially with the plant coming through. But that isn't going to be the Raccoons. They at least take the first couple of rounds, and we worked around 3.
Feels pretty good. You go ahead and you know, just kind of sit there and go, okay, Valorant is starting to be played 2v1 so far. I'm sure they can do a little bit more work, but at the current moment, you're just chilling. This big one, though, full buy of Vandals. We expected nothing less. Of course, a little bit of light armor on Glow's side. So this might be a little bit of a question mark, but we'll see what they can do here. Of course, this is a squad that we know kind of lights up whenever they have guns in their hand, and I love this full stack right now over towards the A site. Only currently being held by 1, and Slenzero's like, yo, I hear like 5 footsteps. Can we please get a little bit of help here? Teammates are going to try and round it out with a little bit of a sheriff in hand, though. Zera realizes that someone might have messed their way in. A little bit of a high ground as smoke goes up inside of Heaven's side, and all of a sudden it's starting to get quite messy here on the A site.
All that Boombot could do was scream at Zera. Oh, off angle. Finding this deep infiltration. Finally, they're able to get one, but it's going to be a lit up kill feed, and that's super. You can't count them out, ever. A 2v2 situation. That spike is traveling back to A, so they will secure a plant on this inside corner of tower. And Kaho, now with gun in hand, is one of the most dangerous people out on the field. This is actually a very survivable moment. You have Keep and Super, basically the top 2 Slayers on this Raccoon squad. This is pretty winnable here, Orbital, especially as they walk it into screens.
I think they can do more than just win. They're going to try and close it out pretty dominantly here. I mean, when I say dominantly, it's leave 2 alive, but you know, we'll see what they can do. Glow just hiding around this corner and saying, yep, I think I got him. Quick snag on the HP, sends 1 into a low HP state. That one's never going to feel good. Kaho swings on 1. Keep is able to find 1 back. It's going to get a little bit close, but Glow is going to swing out again. The back and forth and back again leads them to the first round. Granted, it's only 1 really in that face and only 1 left alive. It's still a win on the end of the day.
You get the pick me up, and you start just moving so fast. You get that little bit of extra movement, and then you get the extra health that goes kind of with it. And I mean, we talk about wide swings, but that was ridiculous. threw on the running shoes and started sprinting just everywhere on A site. Can't get me. But now we go into our well, it's not really a rifle round. Everyone died except 1. So it's the buy up now for the Raccoons. So they're gonna be feeling good about it. Not to be the same for this attack.
is going to be a little bit more questionable, of course, as you mentioned. But you don't need to say too much when a shotty is in play. The judge sends one to jail. That is just like, nice shot on the other side, because it was a beautiful shot on the other end. In this gun round, though, it's a big question mark of how hard do you want to push. Right now, we are seeing the likes of Pink kind of waddle their way up, trying to get through mailroom, but it's not going to happen. Superhaven, once again, with this hard spray, has looked amazing. And keep in mind, Superhaven, that sub for the Pink roster, playing on the other side this time, said, I know your strats, I know your moves. I'm going to try and make it look even better. Ooh, I think they're seeing, yeah, Shotty versus Shotty here. Keep swinging back around. Oh, no. Oh, no. If Keep is able to hold, might get a spicy 3. Nah, not going to happen.
I was actually wondering how Super was not on the top quote-unquote squad for Pink, considering how good they are. Knowing that they are actually a sub into it makes a ton of sense. Less than 30 seconds to go. Both the announcer and I agree. But really kind of holding it down. They know that no one is short side, so they actually will retreat. Zera checking out whether or not they're nearby. They're going to put away that tripwire, and now that they're going to execute tight Kaho on plant, and they use a neural theft. That's actually a great late-term idea to see how corralled in this attack really is. Stu gonna infiltrate very deep, and they just line the wall, but they do not find it. At least one with Kaho. Now Kaho just kind of playing cat and mouse with Super.
Some reason, it just feels like the rest of Raccoons have their number here on this map. Ascent bleeding in to a very strong showing. And granted, we've seen an early start from the Raccoons before, and it's been a little bit wishy-washy on how well they can follow. But right now, you can always expect a 4-1 situation. This round being a 1 now means that it's going to be a save coming out on the side of Pink. I don't think they're going to try and force anything here. If they did, I'd be quite surprised. But of course, for Raccoons, they're just like, yo, we're chilling. We have the Thrash if we want to. We have the Showstopper as well, and we can counter the enemy Showstopper if we so wish.
How do you think the people in this like community area feel about all the gunfire? You know, like, I mean, it's next to like a train station. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go commute. You know, and go downtown. I'm gonna go work on like robots or something. But then you always have this situation going on. Like, oh, I'm so put off by this. Oh, Elisa will drop because Seb is just throwing down. What in the world? And they both shoot at the same spot, and then they end up just bouncing in front of each other. 4 fall for the Pink side of SFU. Raccoons like, well, where's that spike? Glow still has it in hand.
That was that is the quickest way to turn things on its head, and granted it is that save. And honestly, I know there's lore behind it. I think it's just like, it's a training facility, go for it. I mean, look at that. I mean, the taxi's like literally stuck inside. Like, who puts a taxi there? Quite honestly, who puts a taxi?
They're working on it, right?
No. But there's like no way to get out. On the other side, it's totally locked. Like, why would you put a taxi there?
Actually, yeah. How do you get in and out of? Well, it's that little wood.
Okay, there's the street right there. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Don't listen. It's literally just right open. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Yeah. Literally right there. Hey, prove me wrong. Thank you, observer. I'm dumb. Thanks.
Who puts a taxi next to a road? My God.
This is why I'm a caster, guys. I only see what's in front of me, not exactly off the wing side. I'm sorry.
We go around 6, and at this point, benefiting from this. Oh, the Bucky ain't gonna land. And the super sub for Pink, doing a great job off of Raccoon, pickup squad or otherwise. Like, well, this W key warrior mentality we walked in with really hasn't paid off yet. Their neon distance. Glow finds a heck of a headshot. That's gonna drop at least 1 rifle.
Of course. A little bit more there as Elisa goes, okay, don't want to play there. I'll see y'all later. Gonna mount their way up to the heaven side once again. Now, this time on B. And it is gonna be that plant. A very quick look. Elisa just going, hey, maybe I can get a little bit more. 4 on top side, though, as the defense is trying to look for a little bit of an opportunity.
Boombot tells on him. Wait, that thing just glitched? Where did it go? Stuck
Bye,
over
see you
here.
later. I got something else to do.
Apparently, BattleBot, no more. Glow gets a wall bang, and this Viper Pit is up. You do have the pick-me-up, and Glow's gonna hang on to this Sheriff. They land one shot, they land another, looking for the ace, or maybe just to hang on long enough. The ace plant the seed of doubt. A field of flowers is what they acquire on the other side, finally cutting through this drought.
I love that that is one statement to go. And of course, Glow, the one to really step up here and say, yo, let's go ahead and get a dub. I believe we are looking for a tech pause. So I think we're going to get things moving. There it is. The pause comes through, and we'll see what it's all about. It does look like Slayer might have DC'd a little bit in there. But overall, very impressive, I would say. Glow really kicking back, and this is kind of what we saw in game number 1 as well. The teams were like, okay, a little bit slow off the rip. Pink taking a little bit of time. And then all of a sudden, they just kick off. They're just like, hey, we're going to go ahead and win. We know what we got to do. And for the side of the Raccoons, I think it's a very smart start. So far, they've been aggressive, matching the aggression levels, I should say. I don't see any reason why they would stop.
That's very true. How do you think, by the way, that this coffee shop's doing? They had to downsize the it used to be larger. That's actually why you have a lip now. But I guess COVID hit them pretty hard, so yeah. they've been able to still survive in this economy and with all these actions outside. So
is that a protein shot?
Hold on, zoom in, enhance.
That is actually what is it?
Oh, that's an add-on too. Hold on, you get chocolate chip. What is Lucia? Lucia, is that a thing? I said caramel.
What?
Yeah, Lycheea. What is that? Lucia. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's like they have a real thing next to it, which is caramel.
Lucia is just like a special thing that they whipped up. They're like, ah. Oh no, that's lychee.
Oh wait, lychee. Oh,
Lychea? Is that Lychea? And they just can't get copyrighted? They're like, someone else already trademarked the name. We can't give lychee over, so we got to put an A on the end of it.
All right, you get some lychee
that's like what happened over in Europe when I think there was a trademark dispute over a burger or something like that, a burger name, and the company won because it was like slightly different or something. Oh my god, I don't know.
Well, clearly,
Lychea.
Clearly that coffee shop knows how to survive the changing times. And as we go through the first half, maybe Pink will be able to do the same thing here. They bring in the manager for the lulls, but they also gotta really kind of showcase that they can, in fact, deal with the kind of pressure, counter pressure as well. But look how just down a distance. This is a full spread. You got the 2-1-2, and they're just traversing through sewers.
I mean, they're just showing out. They're not too worried. They're leisurely soul, trying to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just, hey, who's down there? No one, of course. You didn't bring pizza. I don't think the shop sold pizza either. So feels bad.
We'll go back in to find out. Yeah.
I also think like this is a top side, right? Like it almost feels like a rooftop scene. Like there's not really sewers there. Of course, what you are gonna find are quite a few kills. Kaho and Glow with a nasty entry right now, clearing out 2 and detaining another as Glow is kind of stuck there right now, getting themselves in a sticky situation. But you are more than happy to Glow on up. It's a dub and a half there in quick succession for the side of Pink.
And that's actually pretty big for Glow because they get that kill right after they'd used the not dead yet, which means they get to keep that weapon. So that's actually huge, considering that if they were to be any longer, they would have died and lost ult for no reason. They don't have that re-engage anymore. And that turtle, I wonder how heavy that turtle head is. If it's like just foam, ceramic, but this bike shop in a weird place. I need to go bike riding for a lot longer, but we work our way into possibly an even position as you do have the neon ultimate. That overdrive is so hard to stop at times. And Sarah, you saw them flicking their fingers. They thought they could be able to walk up. Not happening. No.
Not a chance in the world. Don't want to give that one over. Super Haven though, still putting themselves in a good spot. Let's try and get a little bit of mess. And Flint Zero, I think, just got a free fire shot right there. That was straight through a little bit of smoke or a little bit of a hold there, but the garage is not safe anymore. Good little grab, but Super Haven really holding it down. No trigger discipline needed as you go ahead and grab that kill. Glow is shut down. It's looking a little bit messy as that's 2 dead already. Pink having to figure out a way to get back into this round. They want to try and make use.
Don't give it up for free. Oh, they went for the far target instead of the near one. Kaho's going to punish them. and that they're going to be able to follow those Seekers as well. Overdrive not going to get expended as of yet, but they're looking for where they want to play, and it's actually a 2-1 split coming from out of rope. Seb, they had to get rid of the Seeker, or they thought they did, but they got caught on timing, and then they get caught from that rope position. It's a 3-1 swing. Maeve is going to be just here in screens, and Stu sends them to look at the floor instead. It's a 3-2. What a turnaround here for Pink.
Man, those are some really nice tiles there. I mean, you got to take a closer look. You got to see the manufacturer. And now all of a sudden, Elisa is like, yo, let me show you a little bit of a cleanup crew. 2 headshots leads to 2 kills. And all of a sudden, we are tied. Monkey Man, we mentioned this before, a little bit of a slow start. But all of a sudden, we're seeing the likes as SFU Pink starting to roll away with things.
Just by the tiniest margin, and they're talking about what they want to do in this next buy. I saw a hero rifle for a second. I think that we'll be sticking with maybe a judge, but otherwise it's a tough eco. On the other side of things, a winning value has stacked up the cash, and you still have that overdrive available if you really want to ramp up some of that pressure off of Elisa. And SFU Pink has looked very strong as of recent. Slayer's gonna pop on in, and that's a guiding light that gives them a free clip.
Oh, just so neat and easy. You go ahead and take away that from the shadows as well. That repositioning on the defensive side would be so good to have. But Stu sends another one to the grave in the safe position. Of course, it's a little bit of a problem. You try and run back up on that road, but you're already scanned, you're already caught, and there's no way to stay alive. Slayer looking strong with the 3K. Stu finds where Zara is, already calls out, hey, you're on this side. A little bit of step, not a chance in head. The Marshall can do nothing but cry as it's a flawless for the side of Pink.
I like the free scope attempt as well, because between the snipers, it's the only one that lands accurate from hip. But yeah, your Cypher caught basically in a box, and now that is 4 in a row here for SFU Pink. Memes now just dreams on the other side here for the Raccoons, as we'll have another rifle. Really nothing to kind of lend defining wise into this 10th round. It has just been fast execution. I mean, they opened up ramp off of that fast pick by Slayer. See if they can make this read, as Keep is going to get aggressive, and Kaho immediately puts him on the floor. That is huge, and you run with that. They use that tripwire. They're going to try and find that spray, but they're helped out by the squad. Now they got to walk it out through their own cyber cage.
That feels a little bit bad, and now the chase is on. Slayer heard a couple footsteps, but Kaho on the other side finds There's head. You ain't running away as far as you thought. And with the look on the far end, Stu, maybe looking for a little bit of a chance, takes a look down this rope side. Said, hey, I don't have to worry too much. Headed towards the mid. Sees a couple more footsteps. Slayer on the top ropes. Ready for another kill of their own. And they just might get it. Stu, though, savior without Slayer even knowing. Sends one to the grave. 2v5 situation. This is going to be easy to close out. Slayer gets one more, and it's all down to Superhaven. Running with the knife. No worries. No shindig. It's going to be 6-4. That is about 4 rounds in a row here. Powerful stuff from the side of Pink. 5, actually. I miscounted.
It's all good. Yeah, we gave ourselves plenty of time to be able to go and see it. But we got showstoppers available. We got some intel ults available for the Raccoons. But, you know, there's a lot more lethality now sitting over there for the side of SFU Pink. You do have a couple of judges. Where's Keep and Zara going to sit? That's actually going to be leaned away from. Stingers will be opted in instead. They've been playing spread, kind of having one be the sacrificial lamb, and now they're clumping up. And look how they're immediately rotating off ropes as well. At least no one going down immediately for Slayer. But look how they pivot away. They draw all eyes to Slayer. They know they activate behind Slayer. Look how no one's at B. They have a tripwire and a camera to get by, but otherwise, as soon as they reconvene, they're going to crash site.
It's so easy, but maybe you get a flank angle and turn this into a 5v4. We know how good Slayer is at finding those opportunities, and you did it right there. Seb is down Glow. Gets a 2-piece in mid. For free, pretty much everyone was looking the other way. Slayer closes in on the other side, and it's just a pinch. You are caught in the pincer. Superhaven is able to find one, but nothing more than that. You have to reload. Knife is out. You aren't going to get anything, and it's going to be that round. Slayer, unfortunately, knocks out Elisa on their own. It's still a 7-4. One more round till this half is done.
I just heard Prod laughing because we just saw Elisa get killed by their own team's paint shells and Fat Finger the overdrive. It's like, well, All right.
Yes, pain.
Timeout here by the Raccoons, and we've seen 6 in a row now here by SFU Pink. And you do have the showstopper, still got some other ultis that are coming up, but you also have the not dead yet and showstopper on the other side for SFU Pink. You know, this team started slow, and you got to think it's because they traded one out to just kind of chill. Kane was here before, and now Elisa's just been hanging out with them. So I love the love that's really in this program, especially with the way they're just kind of like, just bring them in, let's play. Also, that is like the most, all those shoes are gray. Who would buy those? Just gray shoes. Just gray shoes.
I would.
Just gray
the bad
shoes.
thing is, well, okay, here's the deal. I suck at styling. I need like professional help to even get through my day.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Okay.
I need any shoes possible. And honestly, okay, well, actually, they're like purple. That's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with color choice. I would probably pair that with like a really nice neon green. So, you know, we'll see how that turns out in my future. But I think gray, black with the kind of neutral. They're not amazing. Don't get me wrong, but they work.
Okay.
Essentially, don't bash on gray, please.
Okay. I don't dislike gray, but it's like, you know, the shoes got to pop. At least that's what I think. Peep is behind this ruse. They really could get popped. Oh, actually, no, they're going to pop Slayer. Slayer actually walked through the tuck screen and the snake bite. They did not care about either of those utils. But this is the same play. Slayer brings all the eyes, and look how they're just launching it into B. Elisa doesn't have the overdrive, and they don't have their life either as Seb finds them. So now they're thinking better about the idea of maybe planting here, as 2 are still lagging behind off this rotation.
I love the fact that Slayer's like, yo, really? We're doing this today? How dare you? Showstopper into the back. As Glow gets revive, and it's just Slaughterhouse City. As Pink send it skyward. Out of nowhere, they collect about 3, and it feels so good. Actually, I lied. It's only 2, as that's going to be a chance keep, though. Wants to close this one out. It's a 2-2 situation. Kaho gets a very nice wall bang. Maybe get a little bit more. A couple more Orbeez go out here. It's going to be a little bit of Sankaho, though, with 6 HP. Needs a little bit of help. Keep able to get a 3K. And you're caught reloading. It is going to be a 7-5 situation, as that's going to be with a very nice reverse. Pink in the lead by 2.
Peanut Head Cypher is the most OP thing in the game. It makes that target just so tiny. But, you know, we go to the next half. 6 were acquired in a row. They didn't find themselves into an 8-4-5-7. I'm just saying numbers. You guys can see them on the screen. But biggest thing that we get...
49. Oh, wait, wrong game.
Football season's coming up. Look, the draft is on right now. Also, how much do you think that that hex wall costs? Because I know for us, that's like $25,000. I don't know. It's a lot.
That is more than I'll see in my lifetime. That's what I'm gonna say.
Wow!
Like no. That's just like, I mean, well, look at the other wall too. I mean, you're talking about
maybe.
one. Look at this one. Like that's crazy. And then imagine the electricity bill you'd have almost every single day. Like that is insane.
Oh, they have issue number 10. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to that shop later. Complete my manga.
Write it down. Write it down. Write that one down.
Write it down. All right. Well, similar strats. Go figure. By Raccoons, as they do launch up and take over ramp. That's really kind of how you separate split into quads at this point. Rope is going to be under contention. Sub finds Elisa lacking. They right click. There's only one more right click left over. They're actually going to pick up their classic, and they find him on the opposite end. But Glow gets rid of Seb as well. And this is a very staggered draw. Super has found themselves on the back line.
Heaven ain't waiting for them. Maeve sends Glow down to a dark place. The gray screen is the worst place of all. Right now, honestly, it is once again this squad, Raccoons, digging around for whatever they can get. And looking pretty good about it as well. This is going to be a little bit of a test, though. How far are they going to go? Keith says not far enough. Very nice little tap there. It does put it to a most likely 7-8 after the 3 rounds. And you're pretty happy about that one.
That's the most CS stack that you can really get in this game right there, is off that that dumpster angle. So early buy, and I feel like the sweaty is starting to come out now from SFU Pink, as we're gonna have a few sheriffs. We've seen them pop off with those in hand before. Now it's up to the Raccoons. Can they make up ground? They will have judges and bulldogs and guardians. Oh my, with a vandal between them. But look how much distance they want to take here from center. Not surprised. This is where you want to go if you're on the lesser end of the eco. That is going to be a very dead Zera and now at least a Spectre trading hands.
That's actually a really big dub, though. Because remember, they're the ones on the save, and it's always been like Kaho to really step up and take some of these fights. So, you know, we'll see if they can continue. Same with Slayer, both of them kind of spreading out, looking for these equal frags. If they can really catch the likes of Raccoons a little bit off guard. Kaho hiding inside of the smoke, takes out the wingman very quickly. That is going to slow down the pace of this take. Now, how much more can you get? Superhaven looking for the top side. If you can get around the corner without being heard, that's going to be big. Stu not realizing things are going to happen. As Slayer has to watch from the sidelines. A little bit of a question, though. Glow knows that something's up. Boombot is out. Takes a couple shots. No response back. Elisa able to trade out one, but maybe able to keep their life. And this is going to be the challenge. 3v3. You have to enter in from somewhere. And they're looking for the knife. Are they going to get it? No. Superhaven says, take the easy dub. Maeve will go ahead and take out Glow's life. It is 2 left alive. It's still a round that they needed to win for the side of Raccoons.
Superhaven was right next to him the entire time. Like, hey, man, where are we going? where are we at? Just right next to Kaho. Just tapping his shoulder like, all right, I got you. And then, you know, no knife. No problem, though. Rifles up in the arms of SFU Pink, as it's going to be a pretty healthy bonus now for the Raccoons. And if they're able to get this bonus, I mean, they could start streaking the other direction. It was a 4-1 at one point in the first 5 rounds of the first half before there was that streak of 6. Now they've decided to pivot over here up into mid. The Ruse will fall. And that's also one of the things that with Clove, wherever they die, especially with Split, because you have so many of these kind of very hard wall 90-degree angle positions, you can still provide so much coverage off of your Death Ruse.
It's just enough to also draw the eyes of the opponent. You're just like, oh, I gotta kind of watch this. It's not gonna happen, and it's a little bit of a dance. And how you utilize every piece of an ult really, I think, speaks to the volume of the skill of the teams. At least, of course, being blinded out here with a minute left to go. It's plenty of time to make a move here, but it is going to be the Raccoons to slowly wander their way in. A 4-1 with the lurk on the far end. I don't dislike this, but is it going to yield results? Remember, this is the big gun round coming out for the side of Pink. They want to get this up. They want to get it nicely.
With the Dizzy Blind? Oh, manager strutting their stuff. Keep is able to get them as they expose their position, but they were exposed because of the Dizzy. The plant at least goes through. Slayer. Oh, they dropped from off of rope. Another big trade. Stu is able to acquire him, but the Thrasher goes out as well. It's quickly killed. That leaves all of one. Keep from distance. They find the first, but that's going to be the head of it. As finally, it's going to be another 2-1 beginning here. SFU Pink claps back. Now we're going to go into like a real rifle round just around the corner.
I love how we always say real rifle round. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, we see some of those, but you can already see a little bit of a touch and go. And I think this is, again, the difficulty of not getting kills on certain players right now. Obviously, Sunzera not having the greatest time right now. 5-12 last time was a big playmaker for the team in game 1. Of course, that didn't pan out their way either. But this time around, Keep still holding up at the top of the scoreboard. They're 16, leading the entire lobby. Ooh. It's just you're on a lower budget buy, and this is going to be the big opportunity. That gun difference could be the make-or-break deal on that first 1v1. I think they know that, but Slayer takes a little bit of a fragmented damage running across the open garage side.
Slayer did not care. They simply walked. Like, all right, I am going to have knife out. Let me get ult orb. All right, now let me leave. Also, thank you, Observer, for giving me like vertigo from that fall down from the ceiling. What a fly cam that was, actually. But they're going to infiltrate here into A. Trap wires set up as they come right back on, but they just kind of shoot them out, making sure not to get caught. And that means Stu will be looking for targets. They do get rid of Wingman, so they have to go reacquire that spike. And that's an open position that they quickly walk it just back to back corner.
Seb said, I don't care about that one. I got to take out your flankers. That's what I got to do. Short range TP straight into a smoke. Feels kind of bad there, but might be enough to play for Elisa. Elisa is currently Trying to keep themselves alive. Low HP, but Seb in a prime spot. But had the util out. Oh, that always feels so bad. Of course, Elisa was in the same situation as Glow was taken down. Quickly revives himself up. Using that body block, though, is Stu saying, okay, maybe I got it, but you don't actually have it. May finds Glow's life is down to 1v2. May with a 4K to keep the likes of Raccoons tied. And what a blow here. I mentioned it before. It feels like consistency is normally the name of the game for Pink. But if you're looking for the silly, it's Raccoons to go ahead and land those multi-frags.
Dave, now they have the showstopper. That's kind of massive, especially because you're the one on the attack. You can open up with a pick. And if they hear that fire in the hole line, they're going to be backing on up on the side of SFU Pink. Raccoons gonna stack together, maybe bundle it up into mid. You have the overdrive as well, which got used but not utilized the last time that we saw it in the first half. I want to see, yes, okay. Elisa's gonna be running it out. They're gonna be running it from behind. They slide around. They can be able to get them with the electricity. Unlimited power, looking for some unlimited stuns to keep them all healed up.
Feels so good. And honestly, that laser I mentioned before, it sometimes feels like it doesn't do a whole lot as much as you would wish, but gosh dang, you use it to peak efficiency here. Now also utilizing that neural theft. Go ahead and reel the positions. Now you get to chase him into the garage. There ain't no cars there. It's just a lot of death. Showstopper goes out, misses though. As Slayer's taken out, and now that space is actually created. Stu goes skeet shooting though and takes one out from the air. High top is Kaho, ready for another wingman sniped out from that plant. That's going to be sad. Thinking you blind them all, but you only got one instead. Down to a 2v1 situation. Elisa with a very, very low gun output. You're going to go ahead, cheat, see the body, keep giving away the position. Double swing here, and Elisa is able to follow up. Big, big dub there, because that was a classic in here.
Yeah, and that was a body block situation too. They were having to protect them from behind. So great swing out, and becomes tit for tat now between these two. As we go round for round and pound for pound, SFU Pink trying to play as the big brother squad to the Raccoons. And, well, I mean, you have some intel ultimates. Not really going to be surviving off of those. If you get one more, Keep can maybe get some post-plant pressure. Especially if they get the plant off, they should be able to get their Thrasher, which will be huge. Depends on what they really find out in mid. I would not want to solo swing into any of this. Elisa is going to hear at least footsteps, know the dark cover is down. They're going to be calling for some assistance, and that's where Slayer's going.
If you take a look here, this is just a little bit of a dance and song. Slayer realizes they're caught out, and Slanzera says, yo, you can't be playing that game. That's a little bit too easy for me. I realize I probably say the name wrong. Alyssa is going to go ahead and give themselves a very nice opportunity. However you say, I don't want to be put in this situation. A 1v3 situation is a little bit too much for me. Need a little bit of a teammate help. Even though getting chased down, you don't really have much of the take, so you got to get to safety. Getting back with the rest of the squad is good, but Alyssa on the other side of a box here, and Seb knows it. No one checked, and that's a spray. Alyssa's though able to find one from behind as that sends Zera down, and the trade's still leading in favor of Raccoons. This is going to be the problem here. Defensive side set up. Keep ready with the Thrash. It's a difficult one to fight for.
Thrash up. It's going to go hunting. Oh, and they found him. Right around the corner. Yeah. Even if they're just locked down, this actually promotes a lot of time. Glow will be protecting, and they know they're hanging out on this right side corner using the metal, but didn't land, so they're not going to have a decay on that HP. Using the ruse to try and go back into it. They can use the snake bite from this position, and that's going to be with some paint shells. A good trade. Stu has to blind it. It is halved. They use the blast pack. They get him off, but they have a thrifty completed. Everyone will fall, and that was actually the worst outcome for Pink because they lost all guns, got him out of hand, and now it's 9-9.
Why are we seeing so many of these full death rounds? I don't understand. That is now what, the third in the series so far? It is. They're going tooth and nail. This is what you mean by clawing for every single inch, it feels like. They are going down to the wire. And granted, you didn't need to fight that hard, but getting that kill at the end just kind of feels nice. You know, no one truly wins everything. Yes, the round goes away, but it's only tied. And you still lose out on that econ kind of building there. So for right now, on the defender's side, you are deep spread once again, default setup, but you can see it there on the same. Raccoons doing the exact same thing. See if they can find a pick, which they do. Super Haven finds Glow's life.
Did you know that our observer has their trademark ability on mouse button 5? That's neat. Okay. All right. Good to know. I don't know if that's the middle or if that's the side. Either way.
That's the side, isn't it? Oh,
Is it the side?
Alyssa just said, screw any trademark ability. Trademark this.
Trademark this shot to the brain. Well, and that also gives them spike. So right off corner, now they at least know that they have to go retrieve it into garage. They don't exactly have amazing weaponry, but still, with the stun, Cyber Cage is going to be put up, but that's to try and recover. Slayer will have a better weapon, and there goes Maeve. So Spike is picked up, and now this is going to be a 1-2 split, and they are running it away. Oh, are they ready for that pressure coming out from Marketplace? They're going to have to go to the spawn side as this plant goes down.
30 seconds left.
And the plant's there, but honestly, this is a much better situation than I thought it was going to be. I mean, Alyssa held it down really, really well, but can you capitalize? Something to call. Heaven currently going to be the main option to hold for, but right now they're stuck at ramp because guess who's around the corner? It's Len Zera. Realizing that they're getting peeked on. A couple bullets land. Slayer gonna try and bounce away, but Zera is just too good with the shot. Alyssa can't go much further, and it looks like we have an overtake here. Monkey Man, this is changing up as Raccoons take the lead back.
I like that as a pun because all the things for Neon are driving based. That's good. That's good. It's an overtake. It definitely is because now they finally pull in front of them. 10-9, hitting double digits first, and they have the Viper Pit online, which means if they can get this plant off, they'll be in a great position. They may even hand off the spike over to Maeve, depending on what they want to do and get that showstopper, but they're also going to be kind of really running it up into ramp if they want to find all this pressure and impact from this A position. They're in a 4-1 split. That's a big blind. They know there's at least someone nearby. Slayer, the fadeaway by Keep.
I mean, you knew someone was there, but you didn't know who was fully blinded, and that's such an opportunity. Now the heart sprayed through. One ski shooting down Tahoe, though, sprays them down again. That's going to be 2. If you free fire through that smoke, you might get another, but Stu sends him to the grave, and Seb is able to collect that spike, but not without losing a little bit of their life. In a 4v2 situation, we've seen the likes of Raccoons fight back from it, but you don't like to, and you don't want to. You want to keep your lead. At the current moment, they were looking towards that B site, but hoping to fake it out as they actually head back. And now they double back once again. They say, okay, we can't really chance that. We have to go for the safer option.
Yeah, it's either they go through ropes and they can hit A, or they just go to where pretty much everyone knows they're going to go and just sit on B. Well, the read is going to happen regardless. You don't have the From the Shadows to kind of re-navigate, so you're going to be planting for open. That's about as best as it can happen, but they also entrench Zera ready to receive, but they're going to get all of a bullet to the dome. So it's a 4-1 situation. You do have the metal if you really want to bring it online. They're actually just going to spray straight into their feet, and that's going to be for surviving. SFU Pink strikes back in a big way.
And a much needed one as well. Remember, this is still, you know, in their favor, and I don't think this was their map pick. But man, you don't really want to fall to a pickup squad. Like your pride as a squad, I feel, is always on the line in these matchups, even though it's an exhibition, right? Like there's money on the line. No way that you can still sit there and just go, yeah, we're gonna play for fun. We're gonna toss it up and go for a game 3. You want to end it here. You want to be done on the night. You want to get the dub at the end of the day, and you still want to say that you're the main squad here to play for. So it is pushed to a 10-10. But if you win this one, again, you can go ahead and happily say, hey, we're keeping them on that econ bounce. Take a look at the weaponry on the side of Raccoons. They are literally in the bargain bin section trying to equip themselves. And honestly, with their mechanicals, maybe they can break something out, but this is that chance. A mailbox currently in a difficult spot. The mailroom is not seized so far. It's going to be Zera to try and find an angle as Alyssa is once again holding down this far side on B.
Zera's so pissed off that ruse was right in the middle of the tripwire. They used their cam to try and find out where it was planted so they could get a shot onto it. And all that effort ended up having them get picked off in the middle. So now they've been able to take over territory from mid. Glow. Oh, now they're going to get the overheal from the pick-me-up. Ready to have that re-engage from Marketplace as the ruse goes down again. Spike is still here in this market position. Super was trying to hold the cross, but they received the multitude of that damage. 10-10 situation. All right, yeah, they're chasing him down. Yeah, pretty much expected. Oh, and the showstopper puts him right back to the floor.
You did your job. You got the trade. That's all you need. Now the team can clean up. That's why you love the Clove. That's why you love kind of playing this angle. And honestly, I like this call. Slayer's like, I'm not moving. I'm not putting myself in a situation where we had to fight a 1v1. Granted, you're going to go to a 1v1, but you have a better HP outcome. And remember, Slayer has a move. That's a whole difference. That's an easy snap as the camera helps you out. And it's a clean pickup as the lead trades back. Pink put themselves 2 away from the game.
2 away, but neither of these teams have pulled away too far from one another. That was a eco, like you said a minute ago. They had a hero rifle, and yet all rifles will be up. Finally, look at that. Real rifle round, we calls it. Viper Pit will be up. We're actually short a couple of ultimates, only by 1 point based on the Thrash. Don't really need to hyper prioritize getting to that from the shadows unless they want to flip this entire thing on its head, which may happen regardless. Right back at my favorite coffee shop. So let's see if they try to rush it down. I see this getting a bit faster, and it will.
I mean, they got to speed it up. They want to go ahead and try and get the jump on. Remember, none of the rounds have really been that fast, kind of hard-hitting action just yet. This time around, though, might be that chance. The long wall from that Viper is let's slow down the lower ground, but this upside heaven is a whole different story. If it is pop, that'll section off pretty much everyone's field of view. Might give enough time for different little light to work. Keep those, sending out the Thrash just to gain a little bit more information. You got to follow behind, which I actually really like this call. But now you got to look away, so you can't follow through all the way to the other side of heaven. Instead, it's going to be a cat. Glow gets 1, almost gets a second, but is blocked off by that line of sight. The cage doing so much work.
Oh, they wanted they wanted the pick me up. That's actually the detriment of having to kind of re-peek. You can't just get it blind from behind that wall. And Slayer, Stu's actually going to find it first, but Slayer's been so keen on it. You do have the ruse, and that's going to be a lockdown situation. Stu off of that tower and use 2 blinds. Keep just stuck out and around the corner. It's going to be a repeat for Pink. They're going to already be on the defuse, and Stu finds 3. 1 away now from getting done here in our semifinal. You're talking about pride. You know what? There's this squad in particular. I feel like they brought in the manager. They know that they are this good. The triple double on the side of Glow really kind of standing out to me as well on that Clove. And I mean, it's good to be able to see how like entrenched this Raccoon squad still can be, even as a quote unquote pickup squad. But they're up against it now. They got to tie it up to just force OT.
I mean, take a look at the kill difference in spread as well. There's a 10 difference between the likes of every member of Raccoon. There's, you know, it's a deep spread. And on the other, it's pretty tight. It's only about 6 kill difference between top and low. So I think, you know, the manager really pulling the own weight here. This is not a budget buy. I believe this is a full buy round coming out for the side of the squad, but Glow with that camera help again gets the assist to go. Kaho's gonna fire away. It's a desperation play. That's not gonna be free fire. Seb only gets 1 before falling, and it's down to a 4v1. Go for the knife. I dare y'all, if you can hear me. It is not gonna happen as Keep takes 1's life. And all of a sudden things are a little bit more dire. You get a second behind though. Keep, if anyone can do it, it is Keep, but you are stunned, you are dead, you are gone. It is going to be the likes of the Pink squad to go ahead and take the semifinals.
No one saw it on this matchup, but it happened all the way on the opposite A site. They used the Viper Pit, planted it to just be a decoy, and then it was, I believe, Slayer who was playing blind protection, staring at a wall, waggling no until they swung into it. Wild turn of events, but you know what? 10-13 Raccoons, they will fall here in an 0-2 situation, and Pink, they will be able to move on into the grand finals here for the CIE 2024 Valorant tournament. What an exhibition this has been so far here, Orbital. Honestly, gotten to see a lot of love between 2 of the programs. You know, they've also seen a showcase and evolution of their players, maybe not from main squad, but being able to kind of just, all right, what can we shuffle together? And thinking into next collegiate season, that could be something that maybe they're like, all right, this is an exhibition, but maybe something that we could actually recompose into different squads next season.
I think that's a big part of why the exhibition is so much fun to watch. You get to see these players that, one, have completed their collegiate circuit this year, and then you also get to see hopefuls hoping to make the next roster. You get to see players kind of showing up in an environment that is honestly a lot less stressful than, say, the regular circuit or anything like that. and you get to have a chance at glory. It's all so good, but at the end of the day, Pink fought very hard. They go ahead and take that dub. They'll go to the first place side. And then on the other, it is going to be the likes of the Raccoons fighting in third place. Keep that in mind. They still have the third place match. They can still claim a prize pool at the end of the day. Just might not be as large as that first place. But both squads of SFU really put on a good show for us.
They really did. And we're going to have those winners finals as well as third place matches going into next Monday. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, so give them a lot of love. Whoever your caretaker was, guardian or otherwise, or even just go find a family member, hug them, give them some flowers, something. So we're going to have that break of Sunday, but Monday we'll reconvene for the final matches, as well as an awesome charity show match that is showcasing two charities for Family Smart as well as MVRP. That is the Metro Vancouver Regional Parks Foundation. Make sure to check out both of those. And shout out to our awesome two co-sponsors, both BMO, as well as TELUS Arena, able to help out with prize pooling and all the extra stuff going into this awesome showcase. Our production with Acrylic, as well as Mattiavelli, we're able to showcase all of the things to you. And of course, Orbital was dealing with all of my awesome things. So hopefully you enjoyed us and will enjoy us coming into next Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And hey, put CIE 2024 in the chat to be able to get a part of this giveaway, a bunch of Steam cards. But for right now, enjoy your evening. We'll see you again. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next time.
When I first heard about the TELUS esports series, I was like, there's no way.
I was absolutely stoked.
You don't really hear about esports at all in Canada, let alone from a big company like TELUS.
Canada does have a scene, and we do have people who are thriving towards getting us into that bigger picture.
2 versus 1, and it should be their game. The Bronze Bonobos from second, now finally find first.
Simply put, the TELUS esports series is esports for everyone. It's our take on what we think the esports industry should look like and where we think it should go. It's way more fun to compete for something when there's something on the line. And the TELUS esports series gives players of all skill levels opportunities to experience that. We really want to make the gaming experience more fun for everyone, and we want to help the gaming industry evolve and grow the way that it should. And I think the time is right for it.